Yeah.
All right, we're live
So,
for all the
hey, how's
people
it
in the
going?
chat.
Aloha.
I'm getting a K31 tomorrow.
Quick, don't say anything. Nice.
K31 bolt action.
Where have you been finding the ammo for?
I found it. Oh, where did I find that? SGMO, I think.
How much is that? That's like
Oh, right
300
on.
bucks, right?
The K31 was 309,
Yeah.
and then 480 rounds was like 255 shipped. So
Nice.
That's
yeah,
not bad.
and I got it from Classic Firearms, and I went out there today, and they're sold out. So. Yeah, I can't wait to get it tomorrow.
Were you in the chat when we were talking about how it's better than the Moses, basically?
Yeah, and I was telling you guys that I was thinking about selling my M44 to buy it, and yeah, I just said fuck it.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to shoot the shit out of it. I'll probably, take a box or two out every time I go to the range, or every time I go to shoot rifles. But my M44 and Type 53 are going to be the ones that I want to shoot the most because I have like almost 3,000 surplus rounds for that. So.
Yeah, it's cool. I don't mind big calibers in a bolt action because it's kind of like slow going. You're not, keep hitting the trigger because there's a 30-round mag stuck in it.
Yeah, Buddy and I were talking today about 308 semi-autos, and he's like, dude, I'd like to have one. I'm like, so would I, but if I do that, I'd have to start buying rifle powder now.
So you can reload it.
Yeah. Reload and then start buying projectiles.
And or shoot steel.
Yeah. I don't know, the whole shooting steel, I have no problem against it at all. I've shot plenty of it. But if I'd want to shoot steel, let's just say I'd probably store that for shit hit the fan or something, because I don't want to have to go back trying to pick up brass to try to reload. So, but while I reload, I might as well just shoot brass so I can, save money. So.
Well, because if you can get that steel for 50 cents or less a round, you might, you know what I'm saying? I guess you could probably reload it for that, though. Really.
Yeah. Pretty much projectiles. Projectiles for that are usually around 28 to 32 cents a round, just for the projectile, and then primer, 26 or 2.6, 2.8 cents a round, and then whatever powder. So I mean, you could get it. You could reload for probably under.
What
50.
about the case, though?
Well, you have to buy the case at first. But basically, what I've been doing is
but like, I would say just under 50.
Oh yeah. I mean, what I do right now is I picked up a case of 500, and for my Remington 700, I've been shooting through that. And whenever I get through that, I'll start reloading for it. So.
Saving the brass, obviously, right?
Yes. Yeah. So yeah.
That makes sense then.
That I got it.
And plus, you're feeding factory ammo through it before you start shooting reload through it.
Yep. I'm shooting the factory shit through it, so I get better before I go, oh, I'm going to spend X amount of hours building loads for it, and then I string the shots everywhere. So I'm just trying to get better. Yeah, I have a little I have a Remington 700 with a 20-inch barrel.
I had to get a drink.
Not a problem. And my Remington 700 already went in and came back from the factory recall.
So what they do? Just replace the trigger system? What was the thing?
No idea. I took it apart and I couldn't see anything different.
Hmm.
So, I don't know. Mine has that adjustable set screw to set the how many pounds it breaks at.
Yeah.
So, which I need to get a shorter screw because it's backed out pretty far to make it fairly light. What'd you say, Island? You're roboting.
Cutting in and out.
Yeah. You're roboting pretty bad, Island.
Flip through Instagram and see if there's anything fancy. Yeah,
No, there's nothing fancy. There's nothing fancy in there.
Yeah, nothing fancy's in here. Plenty of time. Yankee Marshall went to McDonald's. What a cheap bastard.
What the hell? He was supposed to buy G-Webs. He was supposed to buy G-Webs dinner.
Yeah, I saw that.
And here G-Webs is sitting here spending his own damn money on it. Panda Express, McDonald's, and Chipotle all in one. That sounds healthy. Hey, did you guys see that cannon that you fire blanks and it shoots like a full soda can about 100 yards?
I've seen stuff similar to it.
Yeah, it's a complete upper.
Or maybe, I think Ralph might have put one in the chat not too long ago.
Yeah, I just saw Iraq veteran 88 do some.
Wasn't it like a golf ball one too? A couple years ago?
Yeah, I've seen the golf ball one.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this is a freaking soda can.
Surprised it doesn't like destroy the can on its way out.
Yeah.
I'm probably not going to find it now, but maybe I can. I think it was on AK State of Mind.
What are you gonna?
These guys started over.
Okay, I'm not sub to them. But here's that.
Shit.
It's X products. Oh shit.
Looks like they try to go fishing with a grenade.
Is it AK State of Mind?
Yeah. It's hilarious. Dumbass.
I'm starting to. Holy shit. Better cover.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that on Facebook yesterday too.
I'm not sub to them at all. I didn't know about them.
Plenty of Steven Seagal at SHOT Show.
Yeah, I've seen that. I was like, I thought he's dead. He looks it. Actually, he probably looks about 2/3 plastic.
It's looking like that Just for Men hair.
the hell?
Cold steel battle shades.
Let's see.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that Surefire Titan. Little tiny 200 lumen flashlight.
Oh yeah.
Runs off one AAA.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, I go scrolling through my Instagram and I come up on Tactussi rolling around in snow.
And Crimson Trace green laser for the LCR. Looks pretty cool.
Yeah, I have a Crimson Trace light guard for my M&P full size. Military Arms at Aguila. Oh. Arsenal's 1911. The double barrel.
Oh yeah. I remember a couple of years ago when they first showed that.
Yeah. That almost has to be NFA, or does the trigger swap barrels? Because if you fire multiple projectiles with one barrel, or with one pull of the trigger.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I heard somebody else saying something about that and asking the same question, but I never looked into it.
Me either. Because I wasn't going to buy one, so. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, the grip's like way too huge for,
Yeah, I mean,
for 1911. But
yeah, you have, basically a pure double stack magazine of 45. I mean, that thing has to be 2 inches thick.
how does it load both chambers?
That's why I'm wondering if it's one pull and both of them go. The slide will cycle and kick one out right and one out left, and then it loads. That's the only thing I could think of.
I know that Dimitri guy has one in slow motion, but I wasn't really paying attention on Instagram.
Let's see. Yeah, it's definitely one slide. Yeah, both of them go off at the same time.
All right. See if this is yeah. There they go.
Yeah, I'm putting it.
It's got to be a weird magazine.
I'm putting it in the side chat.
It's just maybe it's just like two single stacks welded together or something.
That's kind of what I'm thinking.
Yeah, it's got to be.
Oh, they're not. It's like the base plates are welded or something.
Okay.
I think. Let's see. SHOT Show. Yeah, it looks like it's two. Yeah, it definitely looks like it's two magazines just welded together at the bottom.
That's cool, I guess. I can't see any practical use for it, though.
No. Unless you're a 1%er and you want to waste that much money. Because what is it? 45 is what? Almost 50 cents a round yet?
Yeah, it's about that.
That's absolutely crazy.
I never pay that much for it, though. I usually get aluminum or steel. Because I only have Glocks and 45.
Okay. Yeah, I had a Remington R1 and sold that during the gun scare. And I sold that for above value, and I sold a SR9C Ruger. I bought that a couple months before Sandy Hook for just over $400, and I sold it for over $600. So it was, yeah.
Yeah, I shot my dad's Remington R1S. That was pretty nice.
I mean, they're great guns. I had 5,000 or 6,000 rounds through it, all of my own reloads. But the guy who I sold it to, he sent me a couple pictures of it about 2 or 3 months afterwards, and he totally bead blasted it. And he is an engraver by trade, so he engraved the shit out of it.
Nice.
Put the entire Second Amendment on it. I mean, just absolutely beautiful.
That's sweet. That's another thing I saw was a Beretta, a bunch of Berettas that were engraved, but there was a Beretta. What the hell was it? It was some anniversary, 70th anniversary or something, but it had the frame-mounted safety. I just don't know what caliber it is.
I want to put the link in the chat for Dan.
Yeah.
For Dan.
I'm not too knowledgeable when it comes to Berettas.
Me either.
But it might have been just a different caliber. Like Robbie showed me last night, he had one with the safety on the frame, but it wasn't a 9. It was, I forget what it was called.
Yeah, I don't get having a safety on the slide. Because I don't think my thumbs are big enough to reach all the way up there. Ooh, was it Jaeger? Was that with red jacket? No. AKLYS Defense. What the hell is that? I bet you this is, yeah, formerly known as Red Jacket.
Yeah. Seems like that guy's going to be in prison for a long time. There it is.
God. Yeah.
92 100th anniversary, 92 centennial. Got a lot of glare. It's dark picture, but I think it's Faded Destiny posted it.
Okay. Yeah. Oh man. Anybody else out there in the damn chat? Robbie's asking if that was a Model 86. No clue.
Let's see.
Let's see.
No, she didn't give a description or anything. It just says 92 centennial, 100th anniversary exclusive. And it looks kind of like the one Robbie showed me last night, and that one was like, I forget what caliber his was, 380 or something? 25? 32? I don't know if we'll say it in the chat. It was like a top where the barrel comes up from the top.
Okay.
I don't know if that's what this is. Same safety and everything, same grips.
Well, here's a slide mounted. I'm looking for 92. I'm just Googled 92 Centennial. Yeah, so.
Robbie's was a 380.
It's. Not sure what caliber that this is, but 92 Centennial.
Yeah, that's what it is. That's what it looks like.
You're back, Island. Maybe.
Daniel said, is the chat working? I'm having cam issues. Usually when I have cam issues, I have to unplug it and plug it back in. That's just me.
Yeah.
6-string lights, testes. Testes. Says.
Yeah, whenever I don't use my cam, I take the thing, I unplug it from my computer.
Yeah, mine never works at first. I always have to unplug it, then plug it back in, and then it works.
Yeah, in the field that I'm in, I don't trust it, so I always unplug everything if I'm not needing. If I don't need to use it right then, I unplug it because you could always, people could always hack in there and hey Dan, how's it going? People could always hack in and turn shit on, so I unplug it.
I always have mine aimed down here, so
Yeah.
I get a good view of my table.
By the way, congratulations, Grandman. I see you successfully made the change you were looking to make.
Oh, good deal.
You're a woman now?
No.
Oh.
He had some user settings he needed to alter
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
for his personal preferences. I'm assuming he's still working on his mic.
I would assume so.
You talking about me?
Yeah.
You're talking to me?
Yeah. Well, I
Guess you
like
squared
Mac
away.
most of the time, but sometimes it's not compatible with everything out there.
Oh yeah, it's it's just 99.9% of the time, I don't really care if people actually knew my name. But whether it's I say something I really didn't intend to say, or let's say people take it the wrong way from what I really intended to say, and then they have that statement on video with my name.
Yes.
Might be a little bit too much. So it's more like, I view it more of like an insurance policy. I got no big secrets.
Well, before I made this account, instead of it saying Moon whenever I talk, I used to say Mike H. So that's my name. Not the H part, but Mike.
Right. I got a question for y'all. And before I ask my questions, no, I do not have any intentions of making anything that I'm about to ask. I'm just curious as to how it functions. I'm going to hold up here. This is the slide for a Glock.
Yeah.
And there is a commonly known device that will go on the ass end of a Glock. You can see I've replaced not replaced, but removed the back plate there.
Yeah.
That will take a Glock such as this, it either select fire or full fire. And what I'm interested in is not how to, because you can actually buy kind of like 80% lowers.
Yes.
They have similar things for that sort of thing, and I'm not interested in that. I'm just interested as far as what is being inserted to modify either I'm assuming it's the function of the firing pin assembly, not the which is this.
I'm thinking it holds the sear thing down so it doesn't go back up and reset every time.
Do you mean that little tab right there?
Going. Yeah.
Okay.
Or the metal thing that it hooks onto on the bottom.
So basically, it would make it'd be slam firing every time.
Yeah, pretty much.
But basically, change to an open bolt. Okay.
Except that because of that little switch, again, I'll try to hold this. I'm just gonna pull my striker out. It's a lot easier that way than holding the thing up. It's funny. The switch. If my finger is the switch, it allows semi-auto like this. But then it will go above it to allow it just to go right by it. And therefore, it's not stopping at all.
Yeah, maybe.
That's kind of what I'm thinking.
It's just reciprocating.
Well.
Yet, if I let go of the trigger, then all of a sudden, one time it comes back, and then it gets stuck on that little tab right there. Now, I may just be imagining it. That's why I'm asking the question.
It's a good question because I don't know either. I'm just making guesses.
Because nobody ever talks about modifying the striker assembly, so I'm assuming they got to be using this little tab on the striker as the either single fire or slide over it or around it, whatever, to allow multiple fires. Because if you're not replacing this,
Ralph says that's not how it works.
Okay, well, that's why. Well, yeah, and that's why I'm asking the question is because I'm curious. Again, it's knowledge is not illegal. Making things is where you can sometimes get into trouble.
Right.
And even then, I mean, with the right paperwork, it's not illegal to make it. But there's a lot of, when I've gone, like one channel I like, Forgotten Weapons.
Yes.
Seeing all the different types of actions to make select fire guns or just a machine gun in different ways of accomplishing the exact same thing. It just, I don't know, it just fascinates me how there's literally, seems like there's 1,000 ways to get the same end result. And I was just curious because that little device in the back of Glocks is so tiny, how it was accomplishing it. So maybe I'll hold on the questions till we get a Glock nerd in here who is familiar with Glock. Of course, Glock 18s work differently. They're coming from the side, and they're working the way it's supposed to work, not some hacked version of it.
Robbie put a picture in the chat, but
yeah, I went to Google and pulled out all sorts of pictures of the little device itself.
Well, I went out to YouTube and typed in Glock full auto switch, and it's kind of describing. It really doesn't talk about it, but oh, it's actually it's not just the back; it's actually into the side of the slide. It's the switches on the side.
Okay, if it's on the side, that's a G18.
Yes.
The ones I'm referring to are the ones where you can take literally any modern Glock, replace the back plate, and you have a select fire. Now, that doesn't mean that it's reliable or anything like that. I'm just saying.
I would almost say it has to just slam fire and keep that firing pin forward after the first round. I would almost say it has to be.
It's just that how does it, upon the trigger release, how does it grab hold of that, again, that whether it's upon the release of the trigger, is it grabbing hold of that little nub? Or what is it doing to stop the slam fire so the slam fire ceases?
It's a very good question. I have no clue.
So the picture that Ralph put in, it looks like that metal. It's like an L-shaped metal thing that's coming out.
Right. Okay.
That may be holding down the. I'm not going to take. I mean, I can take.
Yeah, that right there. Here, well, I can kind of show it when it. For those that are not familiar with it, there's a channel, and in this little channel here is where that little metal slot reciprocates back up and not up and down, but back and forth. If I slide this in here. You get that in there correct. Okay.
But I think that what that back plate's doing is something to the frame, something on the frame, and not actually in the slide.
Yeah, there's some sort of control just outside the back. You're right. But I'm just wondering what it's doing. Because the only other thing back here is the, and now I've lost it. I'm going to get up from my chair to try to find it. Parts from the guns are falling apart. I don't mean to give anybody an ass shot, so I'm going to shut off my camera for a moment.
Yeah, we don't need to be talking about asses anymore.
All right, it looks like it slides. It looks like it slides underneath the connector.
Where the hell did my part go? It's going to be an expensive learning curve.
It went in the wall vent. There we go.
Damn it. Oh, come on. So it basically slides under that tab that's on the striker.
Hold on.
Oh, wait a minute. I think I found it. I don't mean the answer. I mean my missing piece. This is what I had lost. I'm on my knees, looking through the carpet, trying to find a little piece.
Thinking it goes underneath the connector right there, like that metal thing that's sticking out of the back plate. Slides underneath.
Okay.
The connector on the. Well, to me, it looks like it's on the right side, but on the left side.
Right, like the crucible.
Yeah.
Piece. Okay, so it's got nothing to do with that tab at all, then.
No.
I mean, obviously, it'd be very helpful if somebody had, like, you know how some of those, I forget who it is, Noble Empire or something, puts out those graphic I don't want to say cartoon, but as far as gun assembly and disassembly sort of videos, if somebody had a detailed, of a Glock, but just of the, the detailed sear, firing pin, etc., etc. Because reading about it in words and seeing exactly what it looks like, I'm one of those guys. I'm always, I can learn things visually a lot faster than I can about reading about it. All right, well, time to turn the camera back off, unless you want a crotch shot.
Am I locked on you? No.
Oh,
Okay. But what actually got me thinking about that again is a couple of weeks ago I was watching the documentary on Puerto Rico and about how they have a serious problem with violence in general and gun violence specifically. But since they are a territory of the United States, and I found it interesting because I forget if it was from PBS or where it was I saw this documentary, but they were like, it didn't seem like they were including their numbers as far as like compared to other aspects of the United States, which if they're a territory, granted, different parts of the countries have different cultures, they should be. If you're going to rate them in terms of violence, like Detroit is, its per capita violence rate versus Chicago versus New York versus Dallas, versus, Miami, versus Hawaii versus Alaska. But they were making it sound like, but they weren't making any comparisons to U.S. cities. So I couldn't quite figure out, whether high compared to who.
So what were they saying? That the high violence.
That gun violence was out of control, and I could almost hear in the background the subliminal message about we need more gun control. I mean, you can kind of hear the tone as to how it's going.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, it's not. Many times it's not what they're telling you; it's what they're not telling you.
right.
Like, compared to what? Compared to who?
Hey, in Puerto Rico, 5 people were shot this year, but guess what? There's only 15 people on the island.
Mm-hmm.
From what I hear, Puerto Rico is nice vacation place. Nice spot.
But there's a lot of
I've never been there.
When you go down to Mexico, there's a lot of beautiful resorts down there. But if you leave the resort, it's a whole nother world.
Right.
Yeah, you come back without your head.
Let me check it out.
Let's see. So earlier, I guess it was not in this chat, but in the text, I saw somebody talking about Tech Daddy's from the floor videos.
Yeah.
Um,
His Google Hangouts that he starts and goes down to the floor.
right.
The reason I unsubbed him.
Oh, you just recently unsubbed him?
Yesterday, I think it was, maybe the day before.
I mean, I unsubbed him a long time ago, but for a different reason.
It says Puerto Rico's per capita murder rate is 6 times that of the U.S. as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess it's pretty bad. Well,
Well,
no,
I'm wondering, is it to our advantage or disadvantage if, when we get into discussions, that we bring up about that maybe Chicago's not that bad.
No, Chicago is that bad.
Well, no, but we have to go with
You want to compare it to African countries where it's genocide?
well,
no.
it could have a lot to do with Puerto Rico's economy right now
Yeah.
in the
Yeah,
past
but you say
4
the same
years.
thing of Flint, Michigan, and Detroit, where
Yeah.
there are entire neighborhoods that are boarded up or bulldozed.
Yeah, but at least people can get out of Detroit, and you can't really get off an island.
Yes, you can. It's a territory of the United States. They can come here.
Right, but you could drive. You could steal a car and drive out of Detroit. You can't steal a car and drive out of Puerto Rico.
You can steal a boat and
I mean-
go to Puerto Rico.
But it's not like the Cubans where it's illegal to leave the country. I mean, if the
Oh
Cubans
yeah,
somehow
very true.
find $500 to $1,000 to get some rickety old one-way boat, for that same price, I'm sure they can get an airliner to fly them to the U.S. proper.
That is true, but I'm just saying, if you're so damn poor.
Yeah. Now I
You're
realize
gonna have to
people have
afford it.
families and they don't necessarily want to leave their families. That's different. That's why people stay in Detroit, stay in Flint, stay in Chicago. I mean, I get that part of it, but it's if it's that bad, I mean, they, unlike the people in Cuba, have an option.
All right, it's
Stay
saying
in
Puerto Rico.
Illinois by choice.
Saying Puerto Rico's population is declining, and it's faced with a deteriorating economy, increased with poverty, and a swelling crime rate. Many Puerto Ricans are fleeing the island to the U.S. mainland, so that could have something to do with it.
So hope is only a flight away.
All right. So
No,
the United
I want
States
AAA.
population is growing, crime is decreasing, and it sounds pretty much the opposite.
But
Hey,
since they are
the-
part of the United States, it's not like immigrants from other countries coming in. No, they are part of us.
Yeah.
Hey,
Except they're
Dan.
not citizens.
So basically, Puerto Rico and people from Colombia have the same idea. Prosperity is only a flight away.
Good joke, Fuss.
I'm good for one a year, and damn it, I'd use it in January.
I suck at telling jokes. I can tell interesting stories of reality of things that have actually happened to me, but as far as telling a joke, I can't. I wish I could, but just not a talent I have.
If I really know the people, I could start putting off one-liners just in regular conversation. Like
Mhm.
the meetings I have at work, probably 2/3 of the meeting, everyone's laughing. So.
By the way, Daniel, I don't have a whole lot of hope with this True Night. Or Through Night, excuse me. I find it a bad sign when they send you in the box an extra switch.
I didn't get an extra switch.
I did.
I wonder, do you have it with you? Can you turn your camera on? See which one you got?
Yeah, give me a second.
It's just a tail switch, right? I mean, I got mine in my pocket here. I mean.
But
This-
yeah, when I open it up, I'm like, that's cool, and I start thinking about it. They must have a known issue with the switches if they provide you with a spare.
I can't remember.
Oh, you can see the top of my head. Oh, lovely.
Okay, well, yeah, I see the top of your head. I don't see your flashlight.
You gotta give me a second.
And Cork, the top of your head is enough. You don't
Yeah.
need to see anymore.
I'm wearing a shirt, see?
Well, turn it sideways. Okay, so like on mine, the front part is you can screw and remove it, but the back part you cannot, where the switch is.
Ditto.
Okay, so what part did they send you two of? The front part where the lens is?
No. They sent me a switch.
Here, I'm going to put in the side chat Ralph explaining the
Oh, the
how the Glock works, the auto sear thing.
That's what they sent you. That's what they sent me.
okay. I mean, is it in the description that you get a
No.
spare?
No. Can you hear that?
No. Yeah. Okay. Well, let me ask you one other question. Is one switch flush and the other one sticks out a little further? So you
No,
have
this
two-
is actually. This is a metal cover, from what I can understand.
Okay.
I have no idea how to remove this because this is.
Right. I mean, if I show the back of mine kind of looks the same. It's just a metal cover.
And you can feel a little bit of spring in there.
Yeah. I mean, I could depress this for turning it on and off, but I'd have to pull. There's nothing to screw at this end.
Exactly. So there's got to be a way to get in there, and imagine it happens. It has to do with. Now it helps when you actually have two flashlights handy.
Well, you see how mine, I don't know if it showed, but mine is ever so slightly recessed. I don't know if that shows up or not. But it's
Same with
slightly
mine.
recessed.
I tried
Now
to do it against my forehead.
The one that they sent you is, instead of being recessed, does it actually maybe stick out by a 1/4 inch?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Because that might make sense if they gave you two different styles of, buttons to push. But
Yeah.
a spare...
Looking at this, if I were to take like a needle nose pliers, they got little notches. If you're looking inside, I don't know if you'll see the same thing. You'll see like 4 notches around it.
Okay. I got to take mine apart here.
No, you don't have to take it apart. Look at the back. Look at the tail cap.
Okay.
You see like
Yeah, I do now.
circles?
Yeah, I see them.
I think that's how it unscrews.
But that looks like a special tool.
Yeah, but you can do it with like a pair of pliers or something along those lines.
You'd have to have more like dental pick size tools. I mean, again, because it's recessed.
Let's see. I'm using just the hook from the end of my...
Well, don't break it just on my account.
Tomorrow he's gonna be making a video. I'm gonna send this flashlight back.
I'm going to check out this explanation here that Moon put up here. Okay.
Yeah, you need pliers or something. You can't just do it from one side. So
Because it looks like even like I have a pair of like baby needle nose. There's no way I could even get in there with those. I mean, you almost need something like a sliver puller thing to pull slivers out to try to get in there. What?
Tweezers.
Yes, almost like tweezers, because it's that thin to get down in there and then be able to turn it, 180 degrees to get it going.
I can get in there with hemostats.
Well, yeah, those are much thinner.
I've actually got needle nose pliers that are this thin. See, I got a different color than you did.
Well, mine isn't a color; it's stainless. I mean, stainless really is.
No, I'm talking about light. I got natural color, the yellowish tint.
Well, I have. Well, let me see.
Your favorite thing in the world, Dano, the dildo.
Yes. Well, yeah, it's got that, but I don't know what you mean by yellow versus white. I mean, it has this setting, which is like maybe 10 lumens for like keys, and then it has bright, super bright, and then just enough to find your car key, sort of a thing.
It's called Firefly, Low, and High.
Now I don't know. Now don't you have 3 settings on yours?
3 settings. This is Firefly. This is Low. Oops. Oh, right past High.
Right. Well, it seems that yours is identical to mine. So I don't know what you mean by yellow light. Unless you just mean the color of the cone that comes with it.
No, there's actually different color LED emitters.
Oh, okay.
They have 2 colors. They have cool blue or that cool white, whatever it is, and then they have natural white. Natural white is a little more yellow. The other one is a little more blue.
I still have the box. Is it in the piece of paper inside the box?
It'll be on this.
Okay, I'm going to go take a look. You got me curious now. I just thought they were all the same.
No, they got 2 different colors. It was nice. They gave you a...
Did you just say he was taking a nap? Dano's old, so he needs naps.
Yeah, they give you a spare O-ring and a couple of spare screws for the pocket clip. I got a whole video all coming out on this. I know, flashlight chat boring.
Hey,
Extremely.
Unless you got that new Surefire Titan.
If somebody wants to send it to me and have me test it out, because you know how hard I am on flashlights, I'll probably have this thing broken in like 2 months. And that I'm counting in replacing the switch.
Grand, what were you going to say?
Oh, I was thinking Dano trying to get the end cap off of that. Maybe C-clip pliers.
Yep, possibility.
Oh, there's an easy way to get it off. You got a hacksaw?
There you go.
Hacksaw method. I like that.
Yeah.
I like my method even better though. It involves
Put it back together with duct tape.
it involves a 2.5 pound, a 2.5 pound hammer, a big spike on the end, and cork smash.
I just don't anticipate mine, really breaking. Therefore, I don't really anticipate replacing it.
No, I don't. I anticipate mine breaking just because I'm notoriously hard on flashlights. I drop them all the time. I leave them on way too long.
Yeah. I had a Prion, I think, and I accidentally turned it on in my pocket and freaking burnt that thing out like 3 times.
Oh, the emitter?
No, just ruined the batteries. I'd sit down at work and then my buddy's like, "Hey, your flashlight's on." I was like, "What the hell?" I've been sitting sitting there and you touch it, it's freaking hotter than hell. I have no idea how long it's been on.
Yeah, I've wasted probably $30 in lithium batteries leaving my flashlights on. And you want to talk about burning your fingers, getting the thing out of your pocket? I'm like, how the hell do I not have a burn on my thigh? But a couple of flashlights I had in my pocket, they got so hot that I could barely touch the flashlight pulling it out of my pocket.
Yeah, this flashlight I have, it's recessed on the top. This is a Streamlight. I think it's 160 lumen.
The Moon?
200 something.
Yo.
I accidentally kicked myself out of the chat and back in. Could you repost that description from Guru
Yep.
Nope, don't do it, Moon. Don't do it. It's peer pressure. No.
It wiped it out before I got a chance to read the whole thing. Thank you. I'm actually going to cut and paste it into a separate document so I can.
It breaks into a little bit and says Guru because it just
Right.
had to.
That's okay.
Copy and pasted it.
Yeah, he's gonna copy it and then go to a machine shop and
Yeah.
make it. And
It's because there's a lot of things that are what I'll call interesting that happen that we talk about in chats, and then I think about it later and I can't remember exactly what we figured out to be the resolution of the issue or how something worked in this case, or anyway.
Yep. Knowledge is key.
You guys. Oh, go ahead.
So, Chris W. in the gun chat said his fleshlight is blue.
These aren't fleshlights. These are dildos that glow.
Well, it could be a fleshlight for you.
Quirk, why did you order the yellow one instead of one of the other ones?
Because I wanted more of a natural light. I already have the.
Oh, okay.
I never, all the other ones had that, that cool white. Is what I call it, the cool white, the blue white.
Right.
I wanted to see how much of a difference the natural white would be compared.
Oh, okay. It just.
Curiosity more than anything else.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't have a choice. I wanted it as a prize, so I'm happy I got what I got.
Yep.
I would assume that white would be the brightest, most illuminating color of the bunch.
Well, cool white is that bluish tint which most flashlights have. Then you got the yellowish white, which is like the sunshine. But anybody see anything cool from SHOT Show yet?
I haven't seen anything. I've heard something that sounds exciting, but and that's possibly that, and it's also because of the price, and that's that trigger assembly for the AK.
The Geisley.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like $65, and it's supposed to have maybe like a 4-pound pull.
Well, they have I think there's two different pricing points. One is that, and one is I want to say is a little bit lower.
Oh, really?
I'm not sure what the difference between the two are, but still, the fact that there's to have some aftermarket options, and affordable options. I mean, it's the affordable version of that. I don't know what you want to call the AK, AR, and other rifles of that ilk, but whatever classification you want to call those, because I hate using the A word.
I just say battle rifle.
Battle rifle. There you go. But whatever we want to call these things, but to find affordable accessories. I mean, that's one of the upsides of the AR is accessories out the ass, just like the Glock, accessories out the ass. But for the AK, you don't have that. And since it is much more affordable than an AR, it's nice to have some accessories as options.
You already have a G2 trigger. Your AK should have came with a G2 trigger in it, right?
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, I got G2s.
They're pretty nice. I mean, the way they break.
Yeah, the only thing I do with my G2s is the hammer. I round.
Did I freeze?
No, he did.
Yeah, I thought it was me.
I think I know what he was going to say. He rounds off the hammer so that it doesn't get hung up.
Look at his picture. It's like if his mouth was a little bit more open, it would be embarrassing.
Yes, it would be. And sadly, I can't get a screenshot even though I tried.
I think what he was going to say is that he rounds off that hammer so that the bolt carrier doesn't get hung up on it, or the bolt, when he's charging it. I did the same thing, but yeah, they're pretty good. I mean, they might have broke a couple in a James Yeager class, but
Right.
we don't know. We don't know. This Geisley AK trigger doesn't have any kind of track record so far, so
Yep.
I'd be reluctant to let other people test it out first.
Exactly. I'm not going to rush into it. I'm okay with the trigger I got, and I also, for the ranges that are available to me, the farthest I can go is 200 yards, and with my irons, I can do, I'd call it about 7 to 8 out of 10, 70-80% accuracy. I'm not looking for bullseye shooting, but for like a 10-inch wide plate. For what I'm trying to do, that's acceptable.
I tell you, those G2 triggers are pretty light already.
Right. The only thing that I wish they had, and maybe it's just that I don't have enough trigger time, is where you feel that your finger is literally on that tipping point of fire, don't fire. I don't quite have my finger trained to the point where I can say, okay, the next infinitesimal move is going to go bang.
Like you can't feel the wall.
Right.
And that's part of the. I mean, that's part of what makes it light.
Right.
So there's no real wall to it.
Yeah. I don't need or want a big heavy wall, but I'd like to know. I mean, it can be a very light wall, but my finger needs to be able to detect it.
Yeah. Then you'd hit the Mosin because that has no wall. It goes boom.
Sorry, my wife
decides to go boom.
And my AR with the mil spec trigger doesn't have a wall, but it's still, you can get accustomed to it where you're pretty sure, okay, it's about to go bang.
Yeah, my wireless took a shit. Sorry, guys.
Yeah. We figured your picture froze in a very disturbing way.
Oh, shit.
Sadly, none of us could get a screenshot of it.
So we figured your computer took a dump.
Yeah. That's what happens whenever I use a 13 or 14-year-old wireless router.
Dang.
Yeah.
Don't buy ammo for a couple of days and go ahead and get yourself a...
Oh, I just want to see how long it'll last, because a buddy of mine, he had one just like it, and it only lasted like 3 or 4 years for him, so I have a bet with him on how long it'll last. So far, I'm winning.
Yeah. I've actually never burnt one out before, because usually what happens is the local technology will change where mine will become obsolete, and I'll be forced to change it.
Yeah, mine is obsolete. They've sent me many letters saying, hey, it's obsolete. And I'm just like, screw you guys. I don't want to have to set everything back up.
How many devices have you tried to connect to it at one time?
Whenever my roommate was here, we had 10.
Okay. Because that's where my dad runs into trouble. He's like refusing to upgrade his router, and every time we go up there, it's like my kids and him and his wife and everybody's like connected all at once, and we all get booted off.
No, when my roommate moved out, I kicked my internet speed down because I couldn't justify paying $50, $60, $70 for internet every month, so kicked it down to like.
By the way,
$30.
kick this Khalid fellow out. He's a bastard.
Damn straight.
He's a Muslim fundamentalist.
Said he was going to mail out the patch that we traded for.
Did you get it?
And then 10 days later, he finally mails it out.
Did you get it today?
No.
No, that's weird. I mean, I mailed it Monday. Yeah, it was MLK Day, so.
Yes, I know. I'm giving you a hard time.
I'm just worried about the dud round being like. I hope it doesn't like break through the paper or whatever when it goes to the rolling machines or whatever. You know, 'cause don't they put all the envelope mail like that through a sorter thing?
We'll find out.
I guess we will. If there's a hole in it and all that's in there's the patch, you know what happened to the
Yep.
I taped it up pretty good though, so I don't think it'll be okay.
I can see somebody at the post office saying, "Ah, the Lone Ranger has been through here."
Mhm.
I can see it now. The whole place shuts down, and SWAT comes out. And
We've got a live round.
Mhm.
That's not live.
Hey,
the bomb
2 hours.
squad's there.
Probably take them 2 hours to figure out that it's a dud.
No, bomb squad will be there. They'll sit there and they'll grab with their little robot and take it to the bomb range and explode it.
Speaking of patches, did you guys get man cans from Iraq Veteran?
No.
No.
Okay. I
How
went
much
ahead
were
and picked
those?
one up. It was like $20.
Oh, really? And
Yeah.
did you know what you were getting, or were they all different?
No, they just said it's $20 and whatever we put in. I ended up getting a T-shirt, several stickers, a couple guys leave patches, and
That's
then a bottle opener, and it's engraved. The Mall Ninja gun is like cut into it.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody grab a couple of the Brace This patches?
Not interested.
Yeah, I got one.
Yeah.
It's what I would encourage people to do, first of all, I'm not necessarily interested in getting a pistol with a SIG brace, but what it does represent to me is the willy-nilly decision-making process of the ATF. That's what it signals to me, and that's why, to me, I look at it as a symbol of that that decision-making process. Whimsical, maybe is a better word for it.
Yeah.
So
Like, if SIG starts putting out a whole bunch of, SIG brace, like swag, I think we need to step behind it and start giving them money for this. Especially if they say all proceeds will go to the fighting the ATF. I'm sure they'd get quite a bit. Because all of you guys did hear that they're going to look into suing the ATF again.
Oh, Iraqi vet. Or Iraq vet, I should say. Dude, I thought this was kind of cool, and I'm not an AR guy, but whatever you call, Pepsi, in other words,
it's a cola.
yes, whatever you want to call your Pepsi, whether you want to call it Coke, Pop, soda.
Can I get a liter of cola?
No, it all depends on what part of the state you're from. You either call it pop, or not state, but country. You either call it Coke, soda,
It's
or
soda.
pop.
It's soda. A
Go to
Coke
Texas,
is a Coca-Cola.
then it's Coke.
Pop.
What kind of Coke do you want? Sprite.
Yeah,
No.
exactly. See, down here in the South, everybody says, I want to. Well, what kind of Coke do you want? That's what you usually say.
Where I'm at, everyone calls it pop, and
So-
where I'm from, everyone calls it a soda.
So if I want to add, if I want Coke, if I want the actual Coke, like the red bottle of Coke, I'd say, can I get a Coca-Cola, please? You can't just say I want a Coke, 'cause that might confuse them. I mean, some people will get it. They'll be like, yeah, okay, Coke. But some people don't. It just depends,
Yeah, but the reason I bring this up is they got an upper that uses a 5.56 blank and shoots Coke, soda, pop cans.
What? Well, how does
100
it,
yards.
Full.
Yeah.
what does
Full.
it use? Compressed air or
Full.
something?
No,
No, he's
blank.
5.56 blank.
Oh crap!
Yeah, Moon and I were talking about that earlier. Shoots like 100 yards, and they have video of him shooting it, and it's fairly accurate.
And it goes pop when it hits the ground. It's cool.
Cool, yeah.
I bet that is pretty neat.
Well, use that instead of shooting skeet.
You could prank a lot of people with that thing. Like, oh, that'd be so much fun if you just wanted to screw with people.
Yeah, except
I
the upper's
just think it's
$400. The upper's $400.
Yeah, I guess if it did hit them, it could hurt somebody. But
Oh heck yes! a 12-ounce can coming at you. I'll hurt.
So no one here has bought the brace this patch?
I have.
Okay, I got a question.
Yeah.
I got a question for you. Is for $5 you can get a patch instead of a sticker, but when I go look at the funding options, it just says $1, $50, $100.
No, you got to scroll down.
Yeah.
Or go to contribute and then hit what perk you'd like, and then scroll down. It should be under there.
Well, I see where select perks are. I understand that, but it's like I don't see the option for $5.
You have to type it in.
Oh, okay. Well, that's fine. I just want to make sure that's what the deal was.
Yeah, type in $5 as your contribution and then select the perk.
Okay.
Or I just click on. I don't know how yours is set up, but on mine it's on the right side and it'll say $4 for the sticker, $5 for one patch, $6 for a patch and sticker, or something like that.
All right.
It's a cool little design. I'll give them that. I mean,
Oh, heck yeah. And I like how quick he got it together and put it up there. Because it was Friday night whenever he got it up there, I think. And last time I got an email, it was 99% funded.
Yeah, it
I'm
is.
sure it's...
Yep, it's fully funded, so gonna be.
Yeah. Did you guys pick up any Army Men stickers from G-Webs?
No, not yet.
Yeah. I got mine in the mail yesterday.
Was there a patch or just a sticker?
Yeah, it's a bunch of stickers. There's like, I think 6 or 7 of them.
if anybody wants to drop one in the mail for me, go ahead. But I could go broke just buying patches that G-Webs comes out. These ideas G-Webs comes up with.
Well, I mean, that's why I keep it to one. So you're right. I don't want if I buy 5, then there's 4 others I might not be able to get.
The only thing I bought most of was the Glocktober patches.
Every second matter patches.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I got 2 of those.
Yes,
But,
and you traded me 1.
The Glocktober ones, it was kind of a small campaign, so I bought 5 to get it started, help it get past the goal, or whatever. And then I've been trying to give them out. I've got one I've been keeping it in my backpack for when I see this guy I know at school. I don't have any classes with him, but I see him every now and then. He shoots USPSA, or he used to whenever he wasn't in school. I'm trying to get him one.
Now, is Indiegogo as friendly as Twist Rate is in regards to guns?
It's really easy. It takes PayPal.
Okay, Twist Rate doesn't have a PayPal hookup yet?
I don't know. I know Indiegogo is easy.
Yeah, I've never gotten anything from Twistwood.
I've never even heard of them.
It's like a gun-friendly GoFundMe.
So on this army sticker, there's 10 of them. There's 10 little Army Men.
Cool.
Oh, the Army Men! Those are cool. I remember shooting those with my BB gun.
Yep.
I used to blow them up with little M180s.
So I want to put some of these on my car, and then I don't know. I might put some on my gun safe. But yeah, they make black and green ones.
And what kind of material is it? He made it with his machine. Right?
Yeah, it looks like a sticker that you put on the outside of your car.
So it'll be like weatherproof.
It looks like it.
Oh, is that Geo? Is the actual machine that he's doing this with?
Oh, yeah.
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 So that's cool.
Yeah, they got a machine that they make all those kinds of stickers to put on, like for this is the exit this way and everything else in buildings and that. You can go and program to cut out just about anything.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, because I have to replace my Magpul sticker like once a year. It gets fucked up.
The only thing I've noticed though is these.
are designed to be stuck on the inside of the window.
Not sure. Inside or outside? These kind of look like the outside. But, some of these guns, the magazines kind of look like ARs, but I know G-Webs wouldn't put a sticker out with an AR on it.
Let's see. He's making American Army men, then they're going to be ARs.
I don't think G-Webs has any problem with things that would financially assist him.
Oh, yeah, I agree. But
So let's see that again. Hold it up.
What?
Yeah, there's some guys with pistols. It looks like one guy with an M14.
What you
One
gonna
guy
take?
dancing.
What you want?
Guy with a rocket launcher.
A mortar.
a mortar.
Mortar.
God, that one with the handgun.
Pretty
The
sweet.
handgun
The
is
hand
big as
grenade.
head.
This guy?
No, over. More. Yeah, keep going.
This one?
That one. Look at the gun he's holding.
Yeah. Yeah, that gun is massive.
It's a Desert Eagle. That's what it is. Or either
It's
a
a full size 1911
So here we go. I'll just go one at a time.
flamethrower or
Grenade.
Tommy gun.
Grenade. Yeah. Pistol. Here, I'll do this one.
Minesweeper.
Minesweeper.
that guy holding his rifle up to his shoulder. Those are the hardest ones to freaking stand up. They always want to fall over. I remember
M1
that.
Garand, isn't
Yeah.
it?
I remember when I was a kid trying to set them up, and they would
I
always
don't know.
piss me off.
Kind of looks like an M1 Garand.
Go.
I'm going M1.
Yeah. And then
The mortar.
mortar. Holding another M1-ish.
M1-ish. Does that have a bayonet on the end?
Yes, it is.
Is it?
Yeah.
All right.
Right
Oh,
there.
yeah, it is.
Somebody with a pocket pistol.
And then jumping for joy with it. See, that one almost looks like an AR, but with that sight way out there, almost kind of maybe a Dragunov.
Nah,
Yeah, I can see
it's
how
an
you think it's an AR though, because of the carry hand, with the sight post, rear sight.
Yeah, and the
Yeah.
short, it kind of looks like a 20-round mag.
Right. Same with the next one
So it's
too.
an
Yeah, same with that one.
M16.
But he's a bayonet, on it.
M16, M16,
With a bayonet
bayonet,
and then a
and a rocket launcher.
bazooka.
M2, whatever they was they had in Vietnam.
So yeah, I mean, it's kind of cool. And it came with gun gear sticker and a couple of Every Second Matter cards and a gun website. And
It's actually gear websites. Gear websites is that sticker, the one that looks like a gear. Oops, we lost him.
Yeah, we did. It's just lagging.
Yeah, that's gear websites if you didn't hear me.
yeah, I mean, I hear you perfect. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, now we can. You froze for
Okay.
a second. So.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what would
Those
be
are
really nice.
cool. Those look like actually modeled right after the Army Megs. I remember
Yes.
everyone but the dancing guy.
yeah.
He's sitting there dancing around.
Yeah, but they got OD green, and black. So
That's
I don't
cool.
think when they made those toys over in somewhere in the Far East that they were really that worried about technical accuracy on those.
Oh hell no! And
or
neither did my
choking
BB
hazards.
gun.
Or choking hazards.
Yep. Let's see, BB gun, firecrackers, of course, a magnifying glass. But you hit those things with a BB gun, puts a little round dent in them, they go flying.
Yeah.
Then
My
when you
brother
get
and
a
I was.
little,
Do you guys remember those plastic discs?
oh yep,
Yeah, we was used to shoot them with those. Then
you froze again.
rubber band guns and stuff like that.
Oh, those little disc shooting guns, those are just awesome. Only problem is They normally got confiscated after the first day because little discs were everywhere. But they were fun. No, BB gun, and then when I ramped it up, when I got a pellet gun, put a pellet in there, full 10 pumps.
I have a scar up here on my forehead from a BB. My brother and I always used to play BB gun wars in the backyard. No eye protection or anything, and I caught one and it stuck right here in my forehead. And I have a scar from it.
I caught one in the junk when I was younger.
I'll take one of these golden CCs.
No shit, it was in there for 6 years, 8 years.
Damn.
Mine is still in my hand.
Yeah, fuck yeah, I never told anyone I didn't want to lose my BB gun.
I did this as well as a young adult, we'll put it that way.
And then your first girlfriend's like,
what do you mean?
This extra hard thing?
Yeah, I told a couple girls it was an implant.
Yeah.
The BB went in here, then out this side, and then into my palm of my hand, and it's stuck right here. I can still feel it right there, right above my finger. It's right there.
I can tell you don't lift weights or else that'd kill you.
Exactly.
That's Quark's excuse for not working out. I got a BB in my hand.
It used to hurt when I pressed on it. Now it doesn't.
What were you going to say, Dan?
Nothing.
It's in there pretty deep.
Yeah, good old days, BB gun wars. Heck, my parents are still finding BBs every now and again from downstairs. We used to shoot into a cardboard box filled with newspaper.
Oh, it took years for me to stop finding them in my carpet everywhere.
Years, yeah.
I'm being vacuuming and I hear one go up in the vacuum. It's like, oh, there's a BB.
Yep. Yeah, we had a all concrete basement, and Mom would be doing laundry like 10 years later, and she'd see one going across the floor.
Who's masturbating?
What?
You didn't hear that?
It was like somebody packing their cigarettes.
Oh, this? It's my life.
Yeah.
He's charging the flashlight.
Fapping action going on there.
Charging the light. That's what they call it nowadays.
All right, we're not going to kick you out. We're just going to block you from the broadcast.
Who's hosting tonight? Is Moon?
Yeah.
Oh, you're hosting tonight, Moon?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to host, and Moon got it up before me, so.
Got to make up for missing last week at my fill-in chat.
What'd you say, Quark?
I said I filled in for him last Friday, for like an hour.
Yeah, tomorrow I'm going to be driving right now.
I have class and other things.
I learned from my mistakes, so I'm glad I learned my mistake of guns being loaded, etc., before pulling the trigger and keeping stuff away from the front of the muzzle. So I do this as a self-inflicted hand wound. I learned from my mistake.
What'd you do? Burn yourself?
I shot myself in my own hand because I thought the BB gun was not pumped up, and I knew there was a BB in there. I'm like, I'm just going to pull a trigger and let the BB roll out into the palm of my hand.
Jeez.
It went poof! A little splatter of blood, and I bled like a stuck pig for a day.
I've never done anything that bad to myself. The worst thing I ever done was close a knife with my finger. My buck 110, I just sharpened it. It was like razor sharp. My sister was opening a box, something from the mail, or whatever. She's like, "Do you have a knife?" I'm like, "Yeah, there's one in my room." I'm like, "Hang on though, I'll get it. I'll do it. I don't want you to cut yourself." And so she was grabbing the buck 110 or whatever. And I was like, he's like, "Here, give me that." I was like, "That thing is razor sharp. I just sharpened it." I was like, "You be careful with this thing." As soon as I said that, I closed it on my finger.
Yeah.
It's like crap.
I've done that before. Put super glue on it and go on my merry way.
I think that's what I did. I think I washed it. I put glue on it or something. I can't remember. I was only like 14.
Yeah.
By the way, having an
so a
infected
year and a
thumb
half
in your
ago?
hand, that's fun.
Yeah, exactly. Here, just last year, right?
Yep.
That's what it feels like sometimes. I feel like it's been that long.
Hell, I'm 33 and I feel like I just left high school 2 days ago sometimes.
Yeah.
I got 10 years on you, and I do not feel that way.
Quark's
Yeah.
like I've felt every minute of it.
Yeah.
Time
I
flies
don't
when you're
even
getting old.
remember high school anymore.
Yeah, time does fly when you get old.
Hell, I'm having trouble what I remember what I had for breakfast.
Oh, I've always been that way. I can never remember what I eat. And it's like, oh, I had.
That's
Well,
just lead
just because when you're
poisoning.
younger, you know that. I mean, you're excited. You're looking forward to shit. When you get older, you start knowing what's coming. You know what the
Well,
next
no,
few years are going to look like, and less to be excited about.
well, the reason Caleb doesn't know what he ate is because his mom made it for him.
Exactly right. No,
It's all the lead poisoning.
my mom like fixing some of the weirdest healthy crap stuff, so I don't half the stuff she cooks I don't eat. I usually eat my own food. Or usually I'm not home anyways when I eat, so. But it's okay. I stay active, so I burn it all off if I eat anything bad. Most of it. I don't drink soda. I don't drink soda. I don't really eat candy, so.
I need to get active.
Catch up to you. I'm just gonna say it.
Huh?
One day that's gonna catch up to you.
No, I think I'm pretty healthy. I don't eat a lot of food. I eat like a lot of yogurt and fruits and vegetables, and I will say my weakness is like beef and stuff, like steak and hamburgers.
Yeah,
So-
I'm hungry. I'm gonna go to McDonald's. I'm
No, I
gonna
don't.
go
I'm
to
not that kind.
Wendy's.
No, I eat good stuff. I don't. Only fast food burger I'll eat is Wendy's, and then I do like Five Guys, but I don't eat it very often because it's not. It's more like a mid-grade burger, and they're expensive, but they're really good.
I could always go for a Wendy's spicy chicken.
My dad loves those things. Freaking every time
That's
There's a
all I
Wendy's.
eat from that place.
So when he's on my way home from work, he'll be like, "You want to pick up a spicy chicken sandwich?" I'm just like, "No." It's like I want to go home.
All right, who here knows who Olivia Munn is?
Me.
Yes, me.
Not I.
Attack of the Show alumni.
She's
Attack of the Show, the newsroom.
Yeah, she's in a new movie now, I think.
I don't know, but she's hot as hell.
Gotta say this. 3 weeks ago, I ran into her at Maplewood Meats.
Maplewood Meats. What the hell was
Yes.
she doing there?
Is it true?
Getting
Yeah.
some meat.
Probably buying meat.
Picking up
Exactly.
sausage.
She's Aaron Rodgers' girlfriend. She lives in Green Bay with him when they're in season. I'm serious.
No, I'm laughing at it.
Well, the season's over.
And I was just kind of like shocked and like she looks familiar.
I've been.
But I dawned on me who she was. I mean, she wasn't all gussied up or anything, but she is very attractive.
I got a question for you guys. For your outdoor shoes as well as boots, do you guys put any water repellent on them?
I used to, but now I don't. I used to get that spray stuff and put it on my boots.
Yep.
I
I
haven't
don't
done
put it
that
on my
in
boots, so I put it on my
years.
new tennis shoes when I'll spray them every few months. I spray them on my sticks and they've held up. I mean, it keeps
I
on
just
getting
stopped
dirty.
buying. I forget.
I'm gonna tell you my attire for footwear. It's sneakers unless it's snowing and I have to go out in snow blue, and then it's Felt line rubber boots.
Well, Pork, I wouldn't expect you to have actually outdoor boots. That's why I was asking other people.
Yeah,
No, I actually do have a pair of leather outdoor boots. They're very
But
comfortable.
Leather
Moon
moccasins.
and Huck got cut off in your answer because everybody was talking at the same time, so I couldn't hear what you guys said.
see, for me, I don't use that stuff. I either go straight from tennis shoes to steel toe boots.
Well, steel-toed boots, you can still get a wet foot if you
Right.
step in 2 inches of water.
Yeah, but I don't spray any of that crap on it anymore.
Okay.
I used to.
So, regardless of what kind of shoes you wear, you should definitely oil them. Leather needs to be oiled.
Yeah. Well, those boots are so damn old, I don't care about them anymore. I need to get myself another pair.
So mink oil is my personal favorite. But there's lots and lots of conditioners out there that'll do the job. Mink oil is just an old standby.
Right. But there's a good pair of boots is not cheap, and that's why I wonder why some people won't spend an extra $5-10 on a $130 pair of boots.
Because you can get some really kick-ass military surplus boots.
Well, as an example, if your leather gets water in it and that leather freezes, you will crack the leather.
Yeah.
Yeah, not oiled leather. Not good oiled leather.
Right.
Great leather.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, I use mink oil. I use mink oil on my leather jacket and on my boots. So.
I was just.
Boots I bought were water resistant to begin with. So.
One of the cool things about mink oil is that it soaks through the leather, it soaks out of the leather, and it absorbs the same way water does. So your boots will the leather will still absorb water in some cases, but it expels it. It doesn't remove the starch the same way. The oil kind of fixes the starch in place to hold the shape and the elasticity of the leather.
Yeah,
By the way, I didn't wear glasses as a kid, so. It wasn't until in my 20s that I had glasses.
Yeah, are you talking about that picture?
Yeah. Were you one of the guys that just wore the frames and not? I never actually had the lenses in them.
No, actually, what it comes down to was my father thought I was taking it when I said I couldn't see the chalkboard at school. So I had to ask the teacher to be moved forward in class so I could see the chalkboard. And I'm like, Dad, I still can't see the chalkboard. He just never believed me. So, well, this is an excuse why you got a B+ in this class instead of an A.
So I'm gonna put a call out real quick. I'm building a survival kit that I'm probably gonna sell, and I'm looking for big, oversized, hefty, like bigger than your normal survival items that would go into a kit. I'm not looking for a list of items, compass, paracord, or anything like that. I'm looking for specifically heavy-duty items, like large items. I have a multi-tool, fire steel, and a big-ass knife so far. Fixed-blade knife. Anybody out there thinks of anything specifically, I'm definitely looking for stuff.
What about like a hatchet?
I think you missed it there. I'm looking for specific model numbers of items that are larger than your normal hatchet, or larger than your normal knife, or like just stuff that's beefy, bigger than your normal.
Oh, those like an oversized.
He doesn't want a list of items. He wants make model numbers.
Yeah, exactly. I'm looking for items that are. Like, this whole kit is going to be based on that. Even the bag is going to be heftier and thicker and bigger than normal. Like if I do it out of leather, it's going to be like holster thickness leather rather than garment thickness leather. So it's going to be all like heavy duty stuff. So that's what I'm specifically looking for. I'm not looking for answers right now either. I just figured people, think of something, PM me or whatever. Throw it in the side chat or something.
Text, I can think of anything. I would have said the K-Bar Warthog, just because it's super big and heavy.
Well, what about that? Those fold-up shovels.
It needs to be thicker, bigger. You need exact models. So.
Yeah, I would just need specifically the best one out there, or the heftiest one out there, or something. That's the problem. Like I know all kinds of cool stuff to put in the pack. I just don't know how to differentiate it from any other pack.
You gotta look at the same item from all
Like a
different.
lot of the stuff I'm going to be doing is I'll be like a mechanics kit. That's going to be easy to make, or an office survival kit. That's easy to make. Eventually, I want to even branch out further into like specific like teacher survival kit or accountant survival kit, that kind of shit. But for right now, I'm just trying to figure out ways to do simple one-offs, and I figure I've got a whole bunch of items that are ridiculously oversized. So.
Yeah, I can't think of anything off the top of my head right now, Hawk.
Well, like I said, I'm not super worried about like instant answers. I figure if anyone thinks of anything, they'll message me or post it in the chat or some shit.
I'll try to think of stuff for you.
One thing I'm having a hard time with is a really nice, heavy-duty, beefy compass.
Yeah, I've been looking for compasses and.
It's hard finding something that's delicate and beefy.
Yep.
You want to like a bath housing, like almost of a like a marine type design.
Yeah, I was looking at those. Those are nice. That's the nicest ones I found so far are the ones in metal housings.
I used to have one of those.
I'm going to be doing a lot of surplus shit, too. Sorry.
That's right. The only thing I can think of anyway is everything, those oversized pencils and toothbrushes from Big, the movie Big.
Yeah, exactly. So you're at least you're on the right track with that one. I've every time I post it on Facebook, I get dozens of answers that are appreciated. It's not, I'm not bitching, but dozens of people saying toothpicks, fire starter, rope.
Canvas. By the way, toothpick, do they mean like a small pine tree?
No.
Gotta be bigger and more robust.
Here's what you could use for a compass. This is sort of what we have like on our boat, but it's not metal. Well, they might have a metal.
I meant to say matches. I didn't mean it was a Freudian slip because there's two toothpicks sitting in front of me.
Look at those compasses. Those are like they're made from marine. I mean, they're expensive, but they're really heavy duty.
Yeah, I'm not worried about it. The knife I started with is a $200 knife, so I've got a fixed blade. I've got a good high quality Gerber multi tool that's oversized, and I've got a fire steel that's a 1/2 inch thick and 5 inches long.
This one almost looks like it's a handheld on this Plastimo. Yeah, hand bearing compass.
The Davis Instruments one.
Yeah, there you go. See.
Yeah, that's one thing I've been looking for to throw in my bag too. Is just a compass, but not to break the bank type compass. I'm like, Huck. It's something that's more than just a little plastic water-filled one that doesn't hold true north.
Yeah, those are better than nothing. But like if you could have a dozen of those, it's better than having none at all. But one good one's better than 5 of those.
Yeah, and I do have a metal-cased compass. The only problem is I like having a backup.
Look at that compass I just
put
down.
One is done. That's all I'm doing. So I just want another one that's not going to break.
The pocket watch ones are my favorite ones that look like a little pocket watch.
Yep, that's what I have, like a little pocket watch style.
Yeah, they're durable as hell, and the magnetics don't affect them as much.
Those are good for backups.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking up as far as backup for it, but nothing that's going to break the bank. It's not something I'm going to get right away. It's just.
But those little ones.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say the ones that are like the size of a nickel are nice to have because they're inexpensive. You can buy several of them, so it's really nice to have a backup. You wouldn't want it to be your main one, but if you break your main one, that's when you want a backup.
Yeah, you can tie them in your shoelaces and in your paracord bracelets and hang them off your lanyards. I mean, you can put them all over the place and it'll cost you $5 or $6, whereas a good one's going to be $30 or something like,
Exactly.
Less proportional. But I'm all for. That's what I'm saying. I'm all for those little ones because you can get a bunch of them, have them everywhere.
I think everybody should have one good compass, but then spend that $10 to get a bunch of little ones.
Oh, who knew you can spend $600 on a compass? I'm sure that's not even the most.
No, it is not.
And this is a small one. It's like when you use on like a regular fishing boat, not like a fancy.
When it comes to a boat, it means break out another 1,000. So at $600, it's not even close.
5-inch flat card. So that's how big the card is inside. I guess it's 5 inches. Like the compass card inside is 5 inches. That gives you an idea of how big it is. But it has a brushed stainless steel case. And comes with protected. You can buy a protected cover for it separately. 5-year warranty. Wow. That's fancy.
Yeah.
I guess it's meant to mount to a console though.
I went and got many years out of a surplus Lensatic compass. Military built stuff, heavy duty, man.
Yep.
Yeah, I know. I've been trying to find one locally around here, and I've checked the Fleet Farms that are within driving distance, and none of them carry it in stock. But Fleet Farms got a surplus compass, and I don't want to pay their $15 shipping rate to get it.
Yeah, what's nice is you can set up that covers on the Lensatic compasses, and once you get your bearings plotted out on top of a map, you can look through the cover and you can actually pinpoint the direction you have to go.
Yep.
That's really neat.
I got fucking Dana McClendon kid commenting on my Facebook. It's bizarre.
There's one I put in the side chat. It's not price competitive, but it has as far as if you're going to have one main one and then go to the cheapies, it does have the features that I would be looking for. Because most of even the metal military ones, a lot of them you can't use at night unless you have a flashlight.
That's pretty nice for the price. That's pretty good, actually. I think.
I used to have that same exact one, but I don't know if it had tritium in it. It was like
Yeah.
20 years ago I had that.
Right. Because you may or may not necessarily want to break out that flashlight, and that's why having something like that you can use at night without having, maybe you broke your flashlight, maybe you didn't have one, you forget it's in your other bag that wasn't with you. Again, I always like that it has to do two things or more, and being self-readable, being day and night, to me that's two things. And the fact that you cannot you can use multiple styles of navigating with this one compass. It's not just shoot an azimuth and go, or dead reckoning and you're done. I mean, it can do a couple different methods. But again, it's you were looking for stuff that not obviously you'd like to find something like that a little bit less expensive, but then typically they always go like that but to plastic, and that's not what you want.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it's made out of.
I mean, as you described it, I get the feeling that you're looking for something that has some testosterone in it, either in its design or its features.
Yeah, absolutely. Those are nice for sure. It's not a bad price either. That's one of the main things I'm gonna do here is offer. I'm not going for anything underpriced or everything's American made. I'm not looking for anything cheap or anything like
Right.
that.
Now, sometimes you like Amazon, it's a good place to start looking, but it doesn't mean you have to buy it from there. I mean, whether it's you go eBay or you go, and you get the exact same thing for a whole lot less.
Oh yeah, and that's what I'll do is I'm obviously I'm going to be reselling these, so I want to make as much as I can on them without gouging people. But the way I look at it is I want to be able to build them and basically not have people add anything to them. Like they won't need to add anything to them, and that's going to be. I'm not going to have a guarantee or anything, but that's going to be basically the guarantee is that they'll work for the job they're designed for.
I would think that because I don't know of anybody putting together a go bag that's that's meant with equipment that's meant to take it hard. That's I mean most of the ones that I know tend to be on the cheap end.
Yeah, almost all of them are. There's a few out there that have high quality products in them and so on, but none of them that I know of are like truly hand assembled with quality and survival first, as opposed to business strategy first. Like
right.
The main thing I want to look at is getting people again the best possible equipment they can get for their money.
And the other difficult thing, and I have no answer for it, is how deep you want to go into the medical part.
Well, and that's kind of the thing with these custom one-off kits like this. I'm just going to build it until I'm satisfied with it, and then I'm going to buy a bag or design a bag to go around it. So I'm adding stuff until I feel like it's a pretty good kit on its own, and then I'm going to stop adding stuff. So it might be a full 72-hour pack. It might turn into a Jeep loadout for all I know. I mean, it's just a matter of how much cool stuff I start finding in the theme. And then once I build ones that are really popular, get a lot of attention or whatever, I'll start making lines out of them and start assembling them.
And Danny, now you got me looking at the tritium compasses now, you bastard.
Well, I mean, he was talking about quality stuff, and I mean,
Speaking of which, Cork, I got another tritium pendant right now.
I saw that on Facebook. It looks like I'm trying to describe it.
Is it the one that's like the little
Almost like a heat shield type of pattern on it.
the little cylindrical shaped?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's pretty sick. I like that. That's nice.
It's like a
Oh,
heat
no
shield
lights on it,
around a barrel. It's just really cool.
I dropped
it like
it to 35. So.
Is it meant to like be worn like on a necklace type thing, or?
Necklace, zipper pull, whatever. I think they'd be really awesome on, like, if you had a concealed carry, a backpack or fanny pack or whatever, it'd be good as a zipper pull.
Yeah, or any kind of like camping or something like that. Or like put it like on a, like if you had a first aid kit or something.
Yeah, or if you had like a pet rat or marmot that like was a bandit and like still like pickpocketed people, you could like attach it to it so you could find it in the woods.
How much did you sell that one for?
It's still available. I haven't sold it yet. I actually just reduced it.
So Tactical Midget didn't go on too long tonight?
What?
I don't think he went on at all.
No, he had a live show.
Oh.
Again, I don't think he went on at all.
yeah, I think he just got drunk in the hotel room, and
I guess most everybody's heading back now. I guess. I mean, some people stick around for tomorrow morning, but doesn't everybody usually start heading back by this time?
well, I'm sure he's trying to extend the experience with all the people networking he's doing.
Unless you're like really heavy in there, like you're actually trading and doing deals, like the heart of it, you don't stay like Thursday and Friday. There's just not much there. There's not much out there, unless you're really like bankrolling some deals.
Well,
Right.
his Instagram sucks, man, because it's just him with a bunch of other YouTubers or other famous people. Look at me, I'm with this guy. Look at me, I'm with this guy. No thanks.
Look at me, I have a hat on.
Oh, wait a minute. He's got a Surefire Luminox watch.
He sent me an invite last night's chat, and I got in there for a little bit, but it was like it was basically like the Green
Look at me,
Dragon,
I'm with this guy.
and I was like, okay, and I was like, yeah, don't want to be.
Yeah.
I don't know. I really don't want to see live stuff from SHOT Show because there's too much noise, commotion. You can't talk about something, and it's.
Well, there's like one guy follows some of the Last Boy Scout or whatever his name is.
Yeah.
And he's been doing a lot of videos, but that's his first time going, so I understand why. But people have said in the past that if you're gonna like show everything that you get your eyes on and do every interview you do, a lot of people are gonna drop in because they just don't want to watch every single. It just doesn't interest them.
Right.
Well, just because it's in your stream doesn't mean you have to click on it.
Sure, I mean, but that's what I've heard of people say. People from the last year say like, I unsubbed a lot of channels because they consistently had just constant like interviews over and over and the repetitive ones from other channels too.
You'll notice the gun on Argo J's shirt is pointed right at Tech Daddy's head.
That's awesome. Hey, speaking of SHOT Show, on Gear Whores Anonymous on Instagram, the Elzetta rep was literally hammering nails in with her flashlight, the front end of the flashlight.
Yeah, I saw another guy, NZ82, whatever his name is. He did a review, or not a review, but a little video with them, and then Jaeger did one right after. Well,
yeah, it's so goddamn expensive.
I mean,
that good stuff.
That's great if you're a carpenter that needs a flashlight that also wants a spare hammer.
Yeah.
But how many of us are going to need that level of strength in a lens? No.
Well,
Now,
it doesn't look like it was a lens. It was the it was the end cap.
oh, the switch?
No, at
Like
the
the-
lens part.
The part that goes around the very top of the flashlight.
Bezel.
Yeah, the bezel.
Oh, okay.
See, right here. See it.
Okay, gotcha. I mean,
But I mean, just to show its toughness.
sure. If you're a high-speed operator, sure, but I'm not.
What?
No,
Don't
I
say
drop my
that.
shit every once in a while though, and
Well-
that's one of the reasons I love streamlights is because they're super, super, super impact resistant.
I need to get me a stream
But-
light.
But drop resistant is important to the average person because we do drop things. But how often do we need it so impact that we can hammer things?
When you're alongside a highway with truck cars traveling at 60 miles an hour,
And what? Throw it at the car? Or?
drop it, rolls in the road. I don't know. I'm just saying it shit happens. Drop it and it hits at just a very specific angle to where the force is transferred ridiculously powerful directly into the lens or the bulb.
I'm sure there are very unique circumstances like what you just said that it might be handy. But how I can honestly say in my 53 years that has never happened.
That's good. I've never had to shoot anybody either, but I still carry a really, really good gun that I did 100% dependably trust. I mean, if I'm ever needing light for something, I want it to be, as reliable as any other tool I need.
But
That's
to
like
get that
for-
reliable tool, you didn't have to spend top dollar either. You had to
Spend top dollar. You just pay for the materials and the technology and the designing of the product, no matter what you're buying.
Whether
top
that's
dollar.
$300 or $500, but you shouldn't have to spend $2,000. I'm just taking a flashlight analogy. You shouldn't have to spend a fortune to get a decent flashlight.
Yeah, if a flashlight's $2,000, it better offer $2,000 worth of performance for sure. I better be able to cook hamburgers with it or something.
Or in this case, use it as a hammer.
I have a $25 flashlight that I've gotten by pretty well with for over 8 months, but I bought one for a buddy back in September on his birthday, and he had been putting it in a kitchen environment because he works for Luby's. He's a manager, and in a kitchen environment, he broke it, and he just broke it recently. So it lasted him almost 4 or 5 months. But they're only $25 though, so if you do break them, it's not bloody murder like a Surefire or a Streamlight. Wow.
And there are certain occupations where you do want to pay for that higher quality. Don't get me wrong on that. I'm just saying for the average guy that doesn't have that special occupation or doesn't do those unique things. I mean, get a good flashlight, don't get a piece of plastic junk.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you're getting, there's a lot of really, really good inexpensive flashlights. Like the Surefires, you can get them for $40. You can get a good Surefire G2. The Streamlight I carry every day, I've winged it at the concrete as hard as I could more than one time, and it still runs great. Every time it starts freezing up or something after a few years, the tail cap gets gritty or stops working, I just wing it at the ground a couple times and it starts working. I also had a Coleman that did the same thing. I had a Coleman light outlast 2 Surefire bulbs.
Wow.
I think you and I agree. It just sounds like we disagree, but I agree with you totally.
Yeah, oh, I'm not disagreeing. I'm just vehement in my speech.
Oh, okay.
I spend all day arguing with people, and knife people are really particular about stuff. So
One of the things I saw at Shot that I've seen Jaeger's videos, and I've seen in the past when he asks people and he kind of cuts them off and basically says, "Well, let me help you out here," and he basically ends up pitching the vendor's product. But I'm like, let them fucking talk, man. It's say
That's
this. I mean,
his personality, yeah. Like
I understand. You know what you understand. Perhaps what your viewers want to see. Some of them, but you're just over basically over talking them and not even letting them get their product descriptively talked about. Because you're just basically here's what it is. Let me break it down for you. And I'm like, that gets a little old quick.
Yeah, I've seen him do that where he overtalks his guests. It's like, you're not the guest. The guest is the guest.
It's like, yeah, we can hear you talk anytime we want to watch your channel. It's like, let the guest talk. But yeah, I watched this video on the Devo, which is kind of cool. That's pretty cool.
Somebody claims he has a genius IQ, and he tries to dumb himself down in the videos like some Tennessee boy. It's kind of like, wow.
Well, I mean, it doesn't matter ultimately. Who cares? I mean, why should anybody care what somebody else's intelligence is? I care about your ideas. I care about what you bring to the table. I don't care about your intelligence, unless it's either really lacking or you're really an ass.
I'll tell you who's been posting good stuff on Instagram is Schwell. You guys know Schwell?
Yeah.
He's been posting some pretty cool stuff.
That was new. But I will tell you the ones the videos they posted of Reed and Haas I was interested in because they were just kind of spinning it, and it was more of a I like that thing they're talking about commercial training versus military training. That was pretty interesting.
Yeah, I thought it was quite interesting as well.
Because it seemed more from the heart, like it's like somebody talking about not pitching a product, but just talking about some meat and potatoes, gun stuff.
Right.
I thought I was
That was
following
pretty
Schwell.
cool. If you saw Haas's latest video this afternoon, it's only 17 seconds long.
Oh,
Yeah, I saw that one too.
Yeah, I saw it.
He said something about going to Tony's web, and I went there and I didn't see anything, any more information. Was there something I missed?
No, he just said go check it out.
Okay, I thought he was saying like go over there because there's putting something special posting something special on that website that I'm not going to post here. That's what I get.
No.
I understood it as meaning he's telling people about it, not that he's posting about it. He's endorsing it, in other words.
It's just an awareness video.
Okay.
I mean, you already know about it, but for those that don't.
Yeah, the only other video I really enjoyed is realistically watching was Gun Blast video because he makes them short and curt, and yeah, it's kind of I mean, I'd love to be him where they're like, oh, don't worry, we're gonna send you one. Well, you got one coming in the mail, and they sent him a couple products, but he was short to the point and just had some reviews basic reviews or not reviews, but introductions of products.
But
that's what I like the videos for videos.
Unless he changed his style, he's another one of those guys that although everything has pros and cons, all you hear is the good stuff.
Well, his range day review or range day video is pretty good because he didn't really have a chance to review anything, but he showed a lot of stuff, and I don't know. I still watch him sometimes.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Take him as a review. Like I'm not going to buy anything based on his opinion.
Right, and I understand. At SHOT Show, there's no time to do a review, so there's no time for pros and cons. But I'm talking about his regular, when he, so and so sent me this to take a look at.
Dandy little shotgun.
Yeah, and or actually, he gave the thumbs up to the R51 last January.
Yeah, I remember.
I mean,
that's like the only positive video about it.
Exactly. That's a prime example of how he operates.
Ralph brought up a good topic earlier. I was looking, gun chats earlier, good channels chat earlier about because it is true, man. Like I did, like my vlog. If you saw it, no, she didn't miss anything if you didn't. But when you go to the gun show and they tell you can't film, you can't do this, you can't do that. Now I know people do film and obviously it's SHOT Show. But with the exclusive permission, they have an agreement that people want to be on camera. They're promoting a product, and if you're walking around, just grading every Harry, Dick, and Tom in there, you possibly could have an issue.
Kind of like what Fate of Destiny was doing.
It's probably, dude. Because it's possible. I mean, people complain, and you can get your credentials revoked for next year.
Well, I mean,
I didn't really see her having a problem though. She was like walking all around.
I mean, I can see if you're like on a SEAL or Ranger team or something like that. But.
No, but or you have an agreement, exclusivity, with X amount of vendors. Like, okay, you have carte blanche with us. Don't worry about it. But if you're gonna go around walking around and you're basically absorbing all these people in the background, and as well as the vendors, then you could possibly have an issue. A lot of people because a lot of people do actually sign. You have to get a waiver from them to put them on video.
the only thing that kind of bothers me a little bit, and I realize a lot of people will disagree with me, is this is not a CIA convention of active operators as well as retired operators.
All right, now I would assume, since it's open to the media, that it's fair game.
I think we talked about this last year in G-Webs, or I forget who mentioned it, that they actually have teams out there, special forces and whatnot, looking at the products that they want, and that's another thing that they don't care for.
Yeah, G-Web said that.
Yeah, and there are people who are there who literally have private rooms and have guns brought to them to look at because of those exact situations. They may have a price on their head for something they did on another continent. And I understand that, but that's also why they have private rooms. And private rooms is not a new thing. They've been doing that for a long time.
Yeah, and I'm going to explain something. It's something that's a lot different. The SHOT Show is open to the media. There are other, there's like a jewelry trade show out in Vegas. It's only open to distributors. And you can't film anything in there.
Yep.
I'll tell you, he did some good videos though. The late Boy Scout, he was putting out some pretty cool stuff.
That's the guy I was telling you about. That he's been like doing every other video. Like he's pumped out probably about 30, probably at least 20 videos.
Yeah, and he was the example I was using although I'm sub to him, I let him go through my feed. I don't necessarily watch him. I just skip on by him unless I see one that's interesting.
Same here.
I mean, I'm not going to unsub him just because he's there and he's doing a quick take one on something that I'm not interested in. It's not his fault.
Oh yes, you will, sir.
I mean, somebody really has to screw up for me to unsub them. I mean, even if they just kind of stopped doing videos for a while, well, you didn't clog up my feed, so how would I even know?
Huh. No, I mean, it didn't bother me. I was looking through them, like you said, and scanning through them, making like, no. But it's his first time there, so like some people say, they kind of go crazy the first time, and just second or third time once they're veterans around it, they kind of figure out exactly what they want. Basically, is more exclusive stuff that pertains to their audience.
As well as letting it take it, instead of putting them all out there at once. Say, okay, for the next 3 months, I'm going to put out 2 or 3 videos a week at what I saw at SHOT Show.
Because last year, my feed just got bombarded with SHOT Show coverage, and this time it seems like it's only about a quarter of the amount of videos.
Yeah, same here.
Last year, everybody was, it's a Glock 42. It's I don't know how many on the first day. There had to be like 20 or 30 in my feed.
Oh, it's
just, Glock 42.
Oh, by the way, something I did find out about the new Gen 2 Sub 2000 from Keltec. They were one of the improvements.
That's a Keltec?
Well, yeah, one of the improvements is a metallic front sight, but the rear sight is still fucking plastic.
That's dumb. Why would they make the front sight metal and the rear plastic?
Exactly. I mean, it makes no sense at all.
So far, the coolest thing come out of the SHOT Show that was wow. Is Remington introducing their tactical law enforcement series to the public rifles. That's fucking sick shit that they're producing, or at least
basically they're guaranteeing one MOA. It's nuts.
But again, it's Remington. They've gone downhill since that big.
That stuff that I did was again. I'm not any fucking expert, but that shit, the stuff that he was showing was like top notch. It wasn't their 1907 they're trying to like peddle, with one they want.
But that's
the only problem, though. I was going to say, Remington's taking the hit because of their lower line stuff. That's crap.
Not in the military sector. I mean, that's what they're talking about. This stuff is like specifically made. It's not made like sit there and bounce around like, oh, do you like it? Don't you like it? It's specifically made for military specs. and now they're offering it to the public, and it's way different from what, the other stuff.
But it's a crowded field. There's already a lot of high quality, top notch stuff out there. I mean,
M&P comes right to mind.
I liked it. I thought it was. What I saw, I was intrigued, and I was like, wow.
I mean,
I was intrigued too, because isn't that their DPMS line? Their high-end DPMS line, basically.
I mean, they have a Bushmaster line, but it's the area of the market. I mean, you have a low end of the market, the entry-level market, then you kind of have the mid-range, then you have the high end. Well, I mean, through Daniel Defense, along with a whole bunch of others, it's not like there was a need that was not being met by the market already. And it's not like there's only one other company that's already doing it at a high end. There are multiple companies that are already doing high-quality, high-end stuff like that. So, I mean, all they're doing is making it available to consumers. They're not really, I mean, they were already making it, so it's not really new. It's just new as far as being available to us. But it's not really that much different than what other high-quality manufacturers are making and have been making for years.
And again, I'm just saying when I hear Remington, I just, it doesn't matter what line it is. It's automatically like, oh, Remington, not interested because of the crap they have been putting out. The R51 is a good example of that. That was last year.
It's getting re-released.
And again, it's going to be crap because the first one failed. I'm not even going to look at the second one.
Did they really re-release it?
Yeah.
Did they change the name like R51B or something? They kept the name the same?
Yep.
Well,
And the exterior, it looks the same on the outside.
Yeah, that was the only thing that was interesting about the gun was how it looked.
Well, I understand Remington is now a big corporation, and they're buying out companies, and they're big corporate, which I'm against. I'm not a popular.
Actually, Remington was bought by a huge corporation.
Okay, well, hold on, but what I'm saying is that they're kind of a conglomerate now, if you will, but or the company that owns them. But the thing is, they're still making the 870 Expresses, which are outstanding shotguns. The other shotgun that's really I heard a lot about is that Versamax. It's fucking the semi-auto with the lunch off that Vinci, or not the Vinci, but the what's that brand? Shit.
Benelli?
Benelli, yeah. They're a tactical shotgun that for about half the price. I mean, there's a lot of stuff coming out. There's still I'm not a fan of their pistols, I'll tell you that. But the other stuff they're making out, I'm pretty happy with it.
I had an R51, and that thing just ate everything. And that thing was solid as could be.
Keep it?
No, I ended up selling it, and the only reason I sold it is because I was going to all to one caliber.
Okay, because it could have been a classic if it actually worked.
No, it worked.
It worked, and it was a first generation? That's a collector's item.
No. Sorry, not R. It was an R1, 1911.
Yeah, an R1.
Oh,
yeah, R1. Okay. Yeah.
It
was in 1911.
The Remington 11s, even the enhanced ones, they got a 1-year warranty. That's it. 1 year. That's all you're gonna get.
Yeah.
And for $800 for a 1911, I can buy a Sig or a Kimber, or even a Colt in that price range, and get a lifetime warranty. Even Smith & Wesson, perhaps.
Or get a Glock and not even need a warranty.
I actually had that the R1. Somebody just bought it. Got it home, cleaned it up, and brought it out to the range, and he couldn't hit the target. I'm like, you must be doing something wrong. Yeah, he couldn't even hit the target at 10 yards. And I got it. I couldn't hit the target at 10 yards. We couldn't even see where the rounds were hitting.
Did they have a...
I ended up walking up to 5 yards and trying it, and they were just all super low.
What was the core issue with those Remington 1911s? Was there one general issue or what?
No, you just got just one that was just so off.
The
Whether
first,
it be the sights or something else, it was just so off. We're just shooting low, low, low.
Mine was dead on.
yeah, the first run of 1911s that they made, the R1s, people were talking about issues with slide fit, having all kinds of issues in general, random issues, and then they cleaned them up with the run they made. And then they made the R2 enhanced, and I've heard a lot of people just praise it. That it's a great 1911. I personally, I was deterred by the fact that it only had nevertheless, all models only had a 1-year warranty. And like you said, maybe you don't have to rely on that, but I would like to have the ability, if a part breaks, turn it into them, after 18 months, and get it fixed.
Well,
Yeah.
especially on a new gun design, I understand it's even more important because it doesn't have any proven history, which is why I like to go back to the Glocks. You got history.
I had mine for about a year and a half, and I put a little over 5,000 rounds through it, and it just ate up, spit it out, and even one double charge, and it actually blew the grips off the gun and blew the magazine out, and it still ran fine after that.
Wow.
It functioned fine. The gun functioned fine. It just ended up having
No
to
problem.
shoot. I'm trying to remember exactly how high to aim the gun up to get to shoot at the bottom of the target. It was, I was above the top of the target to get to hit the bottom of the target. It was just. It was just
Plus, when you
I've
had
never
that
seen
double
a gun act like that.
Yeah. Oh, hold on. What'd you say, Dan?
when you had that double charge, were you shooting it at the time or somebody else?
I was.
Did you have a glove on or?
Nope. It just blew the. It blew the it split the left grip and blew that grip off, and then the magazine ejected from the bottom of the just basically like drop free. It just shot out. It worked the spring, bent the shit out of my follower, and then the case got stuck in. I actually still have the case, and I learned something very valuable. I now look in every case as I reload.
So, but you didn't.
I got that in Canada, but he had to get a new barrel for his gun and get it fitted.
Yeah, mine didn't hurt the barrel, didn't hurt the extractor, nothing. So, yeah, I was so happy. So.
Well, you had all your fingers, so you should be happy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but on the very top of it, it has a chamber check area where the little bit of a hole is cut in, and that some brass kicked up and actually got caught underneath my nose. It, came back and caught me in the nose, and I didn't see it until like 2 days later.
Yeah, I had that happen with a 22 that fired out a chamber on me.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a little piece of brass that came back and hit me in the nose, and got a nice little infection.
The other thing that I saw so far that I haven't had a hard-on for in the past, but now that I see that frickin' Magpul 700 Hunter stock that they're making, I wanna get like I'm not much of a hunter either, but I do want to get a Remington 700, maybe in 30-06 or 308, and try to build one up.
Going back to guns exploding, I was watching this video the other day of somebody, the Century Arms AK-74. The guy was firing the AK-74, and the gun just blew up in his hand.
Yeah, the head spacing issue. So I don't trust those.
Yeah, exactly, head spacing issue.
They're priced right. They're like $429 right now, but I'm really hesitant to get anything AK-74 from Century right now. After seeing that.
Yeah, after that video, that was like, holy crap! And the guy wasn't injured.
Yeah, he's lucky.
He was very lucky. I mean, there are parts flying everywhere.
Well, let me ask a question. Since Century, and maybe it's the difference between pistol and rifles, is with pistols they're supposed to test fire them before they leave the factory. is with rifles that are, basically, they're coming in and they're putting a certain amount of American-made parts on it to, for compliance reasons. Are they not test firing them when they're done?
I mean, that rifle could have been test fired for all I know, because the guy did get a few rounds off before it exploded, but it wasn't headspace checked properly.
Right.
So.
Are you talking about the guy shooting that 50 cal Vulcan? About that?
No,
it
was
AK 74.
It was a Polish kit from.
There's that dude with that 50 cal Vulcan bolt action that got the bolt stuck in his neck.
What?
Oh, you gotta see that video.
He got stuck like a man when the fucking bolt comes back, the lugs blew off and they went back and stuck him in the neck. Big old bolt.
It's like a Final Destination movie. That's it.
Guy's alive, so you didn't get.
All right.
We talk about lucky. That guy was really lucky.
Let's see.
It's a live leak video. You'll find it there somewhere.
It's got to be up on the YouTube somewhere.
Flunker, let's see. Come on. See if it's on Flunker Tactical.
Dude's like at a private, or not a private, but like at a shooting range, and you set up. It only takes one shot.
Yeah, I saw it. Here, I got it. I saw it on the Flunker Tactical. Damn. Oh, man.
Well, I thought my internet was frozen.
No, it's just dead air.
Watching it for a minute.
We're all reading stuff.
We're all reading about that Vulcan.
There was a guy shooting that 50 cal once in a pit or some kind of natural pit, and he was closed off less than 200 yards shooting that 50 cal, and or something like that, and the fucking ricochet comes back and knocks the cup off his ear.
Yeah, it wasn't 200 yards. He was like shooting something at 50 yards, wasn't it?
It was pretty. I mean, it hits the dirt, man. That's the only thing that saved his ass. Hit the dirt and knocked the cup off his ear. The angle. But yeah, I was like, yeah, that's a. I forget what it was, but yeah, that dude. Yeah, we're not gonna shoot that no more.
Yeah.
Yeah, that video is just wow.
Yeah, that would be a bad day at the range.
Jim Cirillo, I think.
Just a bad day?
Well, he didn't die, so.
I
Yeah,
put a
Chris.
really bad day at the range.
Yeah.
You know, bad day at the range is your gun blowing up on you, and you come away unhurt.
True.
Who had a bad day at range?
Oh, we're talking about the Vulcan 50 cal that exploded in the bull shot in the person's neck. You remember that video, right?
Yeah. I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, and then as I was looking at that, I saw another someone else posted that it happened in Colorado too, and that guy was blind. But I only saw that one post, so take it with a grain of salt. But hey,
I'll buy myself a Vulcan 50 cal.
yeah, no,
Yeah, go with a big B on that one.
yeah, with a 50 cal, you don't really want to go cheap. There's too much happening right here to go cheap.
Well, I had a good day at the range today. So
Yeah, what'd you shoot?
I shot my Marlin 30-30. Tested out my reloads, and finally I have 100-yard accuracy.
Congrats.
Oh yeah, well, 1 to 1.5 inch groups at 100 yards. That's
Nice.
like with reloads. So finally I got to that point. Back then I was like having trouble maintaining. I was getting like 5-6 inches, but this time around it should be fine. I just added 0.5 grains to the powder, and that did the trick. It's the only difference I saw from what I did last time.
Sweet. You powder cutting those bullets?
Yep, 30 caliber.
Using a silver?
No, I use green and red for those for now.
Christmas card.
Yeah. I use the green. The one thing I hate though is my bullet seeder die digs into the powder coat and puts a dent on it. But it doesn't really hurt the bullet though. But it just pisses me off that it dents it. So.
Oh well.
Other than that though, it works fine. I shot. I was gonna test my Mosin reloads, but I forgot those. So I just shot some brand new ones that I bought.
Hey, at least you didn't pull a Dano and forget all your ammo.
Yeah, good guy. I want to start reloading and casting for my Mosin, and I have seen how big the bores are, and I need to find a .314 size. Bullet mold, and you can't.
Whoa.
It's hard to find those. Yeah. Well, one is a.
Yes, I use a .311.
Yeah.
But not mold. Sorry.
I sent mine down, and the exterior or the biggest crap, I can't think of the word. The biggest size.
Yeah, diameter.
Diameter I had was a .3135.
I would. Have you slugged your bore yet?
Yeah, that's what I did. I have M44 and a Type 53, and that's what these two are. Both of these are 32 cals, and I sent them down.
Okay. Wow.
And,
.314 for your Mosin. That's it's almost like it's wore out.
well, no, one's a point. One is a 1.3. Sorry, .313. The other one's a .3135. So.
That's huge. Usually, most Mosins take .311 or .312.
Yeah, .312 is where it's supposed to be at.
Yeah. You can do this. You can powder coat them and not size them.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean.
Well, I'm gonna be shooting. I haven't tested mine yet, but mine I believe is .311. I have .311 bullets, sizing. So I will try to use .311 first, and then see how that goes at 100 yards.
Yeah. Yeah, I just don't want to get a die and size and all that stuff, and then be too small.
Use gas check.
Yeah.
So you use a gas check? Okay.
No, sorry. No, I'd powder coat.
Okay. Well, I use both. I do both. So I use gas check and powder coat.
No, I would just powder coat, I wouldn't gas check.
Okay. Well, but yeah, I still haven't. I have to test mine yet. I have to test my at the .311, so see how that goes. I was doing like at 50 yards, like 1-inch groups at 50 yards. I just haven't tested the 100 yards yet with mine. That's the thing about Mosins. You have such a variety of bore size. You know, you never know how big your bullet's gonna be. And if you were inaccurate with milsurp and steel case rounds, you know your cast rounds are gonna be.
No. I could hit 230 yards with almost every
Okay.
shot out of them with
Okay.
milsurp and modern stuff. So, and I know that's 3-1-12. So I may just go 3-1-12 and say F it.
Okay.
Or 3-1-1, just say screw it and load that.
The one thing that pissed me off, I mean, I was shooting like herders, soft points, so I just get the brass out of them, and I was like, I was experiencing like 5-inch groups at no, not even that, like maybe no 2 to 3-inch groups at 50 yards. I'm just with my Mosin, it's because of the long eye relief. I wasn't really looking, really far, and also long eye relief scope, and the kick just throws me off so bad on that.
Yeah, I run irons.
That sounds like battlefield accuracy to me.
I know, but I like to make that. There's a potential for that gun to be really accurate. So,
well,
there's.
It all depends on the bore, because I had a 9130 and I had a long eye relief scope on it, and I'd go out one day and it'd shoot dead on. I'd wait 10, 15 minutes. I'd shoot it again and it'd be 4 to 5 inches off. And I'm like, what the heck? I mean, it'd pattern good, but it would just keep moving around. And I said, screw it. I ended up selling it. I just got a M44 and Type 53, and I said, screw it, let's shoot with that.
I want to get. They're selling like fairly inexpensive muzzle brakes for the 9130 nowadays, so I'm gonna get me one of those. See how it improves. It's not. I know a lot of people say, well, it's not. Muzzle brake won't improve your accuracy. Yeah, it won't, but I can recover my gun faster because it keeps flying around. I have it on a bipod, and it just flies.
Oh, do you have one of the bipods that goes on the very end of it?
No, I have a bipod that goes into the. I got the ATI stock for it. ATI Monte Carlo stock, and it goes around into the sling. It goes into the sling mount, basically.
Okay.
Like standard rifle bipod configuration.
Okay.
And I can get it more accurate, and it absorbs more recoil. He just really wants to fly because it's flying straight. So I did when I did make my my reloads when I first did them, they were like clinker rounds. I didn't feel no recoil on those when I made my initial one. So now I got to figure out. Now, I want to make more of those, but I want to make it accurate at least 100.
Yeah. Start putting some more powder behind them.
But
I know.
Chris, when the bullet barely leaves a barrel.
I know. Where he shoots it at 100 yards and he can count to 10 before it hits.
He's shooting it at a 45-degree angle to hit it at 10 yards.
Yeah.
Next one. What you got there, Huck?
Some nice stuff.
It's nice gear, yeah.
Yeah, just stuff I've been messing with. The AK, I'm pretty excited about the AK bandolier. I'm pretty excited.
That does look cool.
Hey, did you buy another Wakizashi or did you make one?
Yeah, I bought another. I found another one.
Okay.
I'm trying to sell this one.
Okay.
That's actually what I'm going to use to fund my Midwest Rail for my app.
Nice.
Oh, you're gonna put that on your PAP pistol?
Yeah, I finally saw one in a configuration I really liked, so go for it. I found them for like 118 bucks, something like that.
Cool.
Did you guys see? Are you ready for it? News is video on that. It's a fairly long video on that. The sync
Yeah,
No.
bitching everyone out about taking
No,
her.
no, not the one. That the after one when she explained that there is no law supporting what the ATF did.
I like the Triple B's video better, so I just
No,
stuck with that one.
Well, no, there was the rant. There was like the angry one about people who took down their videos are cowards. But then there was a one that actually detailed and had explained letters. Yeah, just look for it. She's on her channel. There is one that actually was a little bit more detailed explanation of how that decision has no law to stand on. So I'm just waiting for whoever they try to arrest for that violation and get there.
I can summarize it. They issue opinions. They don't issue laws.
Exactly.
That's true.
It is true, but in the last letter, they redefined a word or something.
Mm-hmm.
Or
Yeah,
they defined a word that's not in the actual NFA. So.
Yeah, exactly. So they have nothing to stand on. I mean, still, I'm going to err on the side of caution and not be caught. I'm not even shooting that gun for a while, so. But I just can't wait for them to try to arrest someone for that and then get their ass handed to them. So.
But you're not going to hear about someone getting arrested for it.
And Chris, you can shoot the gun, you just can't shoulder it.
Yeah.
No, hold on. We will find out. I mean, in this media where we actually look for these things, somebody's gonna freaking put that on the web.
Yeah, we will find out. The general public won't.
Well, that doesn't matter. General public doesn't care about the sig-based issue. This matter is important to us, the gun dudes. Okay.
Yep.
This matter is important to us.
I have one too.
So.
I have one too. So.
Yep. And
I'm about to sell mine so I can get one of them new green ones because they got all different colors. Green.
Oh yeah.
They got a white one. There's a bunch of different colors.
What do you call this? Another one. I'll just RIT dye mine. If I want to do a color of mine, I'll just put soak it in RIT dye.
Well, just remember you can't RIT dye something that's already black.
Really?
Yeah. You can only do a lighter color, darker.
Never mind. It's my color anyway. So. Oh yeah, and did you guys see that news one from MTH where this guy tackled a guy who could still carry a gun into Walmart?
Yeah.
And says he's got a gun. He's got a gun. It's like you're under arrest for assault.
Yep. Assault and battery.
Yep. But
yeah,
I'm a hero. But I'm a hero.
No.
Go ahead. But Lord Bloomberg says I need to do this.
What's crazy about it is every town and Moms Demand Action are actually cheering the guy on, saying, "Oh, what's wrong with that?"
Yeah, of course. But these are the same people who are urging their followers to violate the law to come after us.
Yeah,
so of course they'll be cheering them on. These are the people who want to call the SWAT team to have us massacred when we don't do anything.
Mm-hmm.
Where did this happen?
Huh?
Florida.
When?
Where?
Where? Florida, I think.
Yeah, it was like a Florida Walmart, I think.
Well, it just because Florida's had concealed carry for a long time that somebody could be so ignorant to not know that it's legal to carry a gun.
Oh, well, there's plenty of dumbasses down in Florida. Trust me.
Well, there's dumbasses.
They're not running low on dumbasses.
Hillsborough County. It was Hillsborough County.
Yep. This guy thought he was being a hero. That's all it is, and he's probably. I can't really. He didn't say he was an anti-gunner, but he probably was one, and he thought he was being a hero when he did this. And yeah, well, he's probably wondering why he's
He
behind
was
bars.
racially profiling, probably too.
That too. That too. Yep.
Boss, is that the link in the side?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's even video. It's like as soon as the guy walks into the Walmart.
I didn't see the video.
Okay, I'll copy it over at Gun Channels in case anybody over there wants to see it.
Yeah, he just
Thanks.
tackles him. Damn.
And put him on a chokehold too. He's got a gun. He's got a gun. He's like, yeah, you're under arrest.
Yeah, the guy with the gun, as he was getting tackled, was also yelling, "I've got a permit."
Yeah, exactly. It's like,
So, did the police have to be called, or were they there to?
yes. The cops were called afterwards because the Walmart security detained both people. And after investigation, after reviewing the tape, they found the one who tackled was the one who at fault.
Well, that brings up another question. Who does
Oh, wow.
Walmart have to detain anybody for minimum wage?
Go to about 56 seconds.
I mean,
leg
does
sweat.
Walmart have a separate security employment?
Damn.
Each Walmart has their own security, but they're not supposed to really do anything.
I mean, because detaining people.
Now, what about this other guy that was holding him down?
The guy in the gray shirt.
Did you like disarm him?
Yeah, he pulled the gun out.
Jesus.
The guy in the gray shirt pulled his gun out, and another guy came over and grabbed it.
He's like holding it up in the
Holy
air.
crap.
Some other guy comes over and takes it. What a dick. A bunch
Oh
of
my
dicks.
God!
Holy shit.
Yep.
Okay. That just pisses me off. I can't. Well, I didn't watch the video. I've been
Okay.
reading the story.
Okay, he's holding the gun, pointing it, and the guy in the green shirt grabs it. They doesn't clear it and hands it to someone else. But first, so he's muzzling himself. Oh my gosh,
That's crazy.
that is absolutely nuts.
How did the guy who did the tackling know that the carrier even had a gun?
He said he
stories.
saw it.
Two stories. One is he saw him holstering it while getting out of the car. Second was that he just saw it under his jacket. Like, you know, sometimes when the jacket lifts up, you saw the holster.
Yeah, I heard both versions.
Yeah.
Okay.
I heard the second one. I didn't hear the first one. But I mean, as he's walking in, I mean, the gun isn't being shown. The jacket. I mean, he's just strolling in. I don't see, unless he saw it outside. But why wait until you're inside to tackle him?
Now, what my gut tells me is the judge is probably gonna give this guy a slap on the wrist and say, well, you know, he was doing it to save the children.
No way.
No,
That's crazy.
no, he won't.
You can't
He
just
won't do
take
it.
the law into your own hands like that. Hopefully this guy gets
If
everything he
the
deserves.
judge is a liberal,
Assault
maybe,
and
but
battery.
that's hardly.
It-
guy
it's,
was-
it's going to be assault and
Straight
battery.
up vigilantism right there. With no warrant.
The
No
guy wasn't
warranted
doing anything. He was just
action.
walking into into Walmart like a regular. He was a regular shopper, you know, and he tackled him. He wasn't doing anything. He wasn't threatening. So there was no justifiable reason for the guy to act like that.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll keep my eye on this to see what happens.
And you
So-
know, and
What was the age of the victim?
63.
60, yeah.
60?
Yeah, 63 years old.
Let's
Okay.
see.
62 or something.
Yeah, 62, 63.
Foster.
I like the one Walmart employee who just saunters his way on up to the front.
62, and okay, sorry. The guy who got attacked was 43, and the guy doing the attacking was 62.
62, there you go. Okay.
Okay, so the attacker was older.
Yes.
No. The
Almost 20
attacker
years.
was younger.
No. Attacker was older.
No, the attacker was
You're
43.
you got it backwards, Fuss.
I mean, I see a
the
guy
one
with
guy
gray
was-
hair.
The guy with the gun was 62.
The guy with gray hair is tackling down a guy who does not have gray hair.
Yeah, but the guy with who was African American.
Oh, okay.
Okay, okay, sorry. Foster followed Daniels. Okay. My bad. I had it. Yeah. So
Yeah,
the
that-
43 guy,
The
43-year-old tackled the 62-year-old.
Yeah.
I like the wrestling movies putting on the guy.
Yeah, he swept the leg, man.
Yeah, well, I mean, I wrestled for 8 years. I know a wrestling move when I see one.
Yeah, the single arm bar.
Yeah,
Yeah, I wrestled too.
I mean, granted, it was 30 years ago, but some things don't change that much.
What you're saying is neither one of you have touched one, but you've both seen one up close.
Well,
Damn.
some people go for karate, but grappling is grappling.
Mm-hmm. Okay, what if that concealed carrier would have pulled out and shot the guy?
You had every
That would
right
be-
to.
Then it
I
would be a
mean,
bigger
he had the right to.
it would be bigger
Well, wait a
news.
minute.
It would be a
Not
bigger case.
until they start threatening him and hitting him and stuff like that. Tackling him isn't necessarily a threat to your life until you start smacking your head off the concrete or something like that. It's not.
Yeah.
Or the guy's on
Well-
top of you hitting your face or something. That's the force multiplier that makes it a lethal situation. Otherwise, it's a fight in most places.
Okay.
It was just lucky it wasn't the gun. Now here's the funny. What
That's
if
not
the
the same.
guy? What if the
Sorry,
guy? No, it's okay. What if the guy who got wrestled down to the ground was an undercover cop? Oh, not undercover, like an off-duty cop.
Or got shot in a scuffle with his own gun.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, if he was an undercover cop, it would have been worse.
Well, I mean, I can see where the guy who did the tackling getting shot by the concealed carrier because he literally attacked him.
Yeah.
I mean, if
Yeah.
some guy comes flying out of nowhere, and again, there's other factors. I mean, it is a potential for that sort of situation to happen.
Or whenever they're passing the gun around, someone slide their finger and yank the trigger by accident.
Jeez, yeah, that was something that shouldn't have been done. That to me was a dumbass moment right there when they passed the gun around.
It was all a dumbass moment.
But but just to play devil's advocate for a moment here, so don't get too crazy off mad at me. But let's say that was a guy coming in there to kill his girlfriend. Wouldn't you need to de-arm him? And how would you do that? Well, of course, somebody's got to control the guy physically, and someone else has to take control of the weapon.
I would just say that we wouldn't know that until he
Yeah.
drew
Until
his
he did
weapon.
it.
Yeah, we're gonna have to apply the old-fashioned of innocent until proven guilty. So.
And even if he thought about doing it, until he actually does it,
I understand. Like I said, I'm just playing devil's advocate.
Oh no, I know what you're doing.
I mean, now the moment he pulls it out of the holster, that
It's fair
changes.
game.
Yep. That's intent.
Then you can either fight or flight. But until then, he has no reason to suspect the guy.
Yeah.
Unless he was just guilty of being black, I think. I don't think he would have tackled a white guy. That's my thing.
Yeah.
I don't mean to bring the race card into it, but that's
Yeah.
just the way it is in reality there.
Oh, the black man with the gun thing.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that factor into that. First of all, he was a little bit more older gentleman, so so it's a lot of the stereotypical stuff like that flies out the window. So when I saw this, I treat it strictly as innocent person with a gun. I didn't even factor race into it because there's no way.
Marco, I mean, you tackle him at the knees, but.
If it was Marco, that's fucked up.
Yeah, I mean, as gun guys, that's how we think about it. We think about a good guy getting tackled and assaulted. We don't think of it's black, white, or whatever. It's an innocent bystander, getting his rights,
Violated. Yep.
violated. Thank you.
And the other thing is, we have the luxury of knowing that after the fact.
Of course.
Obviously, the guy who made the mistake, he panicked. He made the wrong decision, clearly. But he was trying to do the right thing. So, But he fucked up.
Here's the
Yeah,
thing.
he fucked up. I mean, I see guns all the time printing and stuff, and I'm like, all right, whatever.
And here's the thing, though. I always look at it this way. What is the road to hell paved with?
Yeah.
Good intentions.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah. Heck, when I was in Florida last week, there was a girl concealed carrying down in Florida, and her the butt of her Glock was sticking out. And I walked up to her and said, "Hey, you're a nice Glock." She's like, "Oh, you can see it." I went, "Yeah, her butt's sticking out." And she's like, "Oh, thank you." And that was it. And I walked on.
Yeah, but the thing is this, and we have to. It's sad. I understand, and it's really, if we can prevent crime all the time, we do it. But we cannot treat people as if they're gonna commit a crime. We have, as sad as it is, sometimes if they, something has to be done for a person to be. For crime to be considered, something has to be done or attempted to be done. There's there's a split second in between the intention to commit a crime and not commit a crime. Any earlier or later would end up badly. This guy was early.
Yes.
If this guy was gonna kill somebody, it would have been tragic after. So you can't, So it's all about timing, just like comedy.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Foose, I gotta go and admire the way you went and told a girl that her butt was sticking out.
Yeah.
I was going to mention you might want to call it a grip.
Well, no, I said nice Glock, and she's like, "Oh, you saw it?" I went, "Yeah, the butt's sticking. The butt of it's sticking out." She's like, "Okay." So.
That's called a flirt. That's called
If you had a nice butt, you wouldn't have said anything, would you? Just to watch.
Oh yeah, if her butt was hanging out, I'd be like. And the thing is, she was freaking hot too. So I was looking at her butt, then I saw the Glock.
It's natural. No need to be ashamed.
I'm not ashamed.
I mean, there's a reason to wear tight clothes, and it's not because you don't want to be looked at.
Yep.
Because they're more streamlined, they don't catch on stuff.
Yeah, they're more aerodynamic.
Sure.
I shave my entire body so I can run faster. Makes me aerodynamic.
That's one image that I wish I never had in my head.
You haven't seen Smooth, you've seen my eyebrows.
Okay.
Oh man.
Not
Thing
after
is,
Am I too loud?
I knew a lot of track guys that did shave everything.
Actually, it was the swimmers in the pool that shaved their legs and their armpits and everything else.
Yep.
Because when I was in wrestling, we had to cut through the pool to get to the wrestling room, and all the swimmers shaved too much.
Bike riders do it too.
Yep.
Yes. Well, bike riders we didn't share a locker room with.
Yeah, and then you get into the wrestling room and guys are hairy, have long hair, and have to wear those bonnets and shit.
And then it all stinks of like 10-year-old sweat.
Yeah.
It's not just the stink that they bring into the room, it's the stink from the past 10 years that nobody cleaned up.
Yeah. Well, we bleached our mats in our wrestling room every weekend. So.
Yeah. But what gets in the cracks and underneath the mats? That's what never really. I mean, the surface, yeah, that gets bleached. Yeah. But unless they roll them up and then clean literally the undersides and whether it's wood or concrete, whatever's on the bottom.
Oh yeah. Ours was concrete, but the pads were fitted to it. So like the entire length was just one mat, and then all the walls were another mat. So we had very few cracks.
Mm-hmm. Except for the guys that wrestled heavyweight.
That was me. Yeah. And the thing is all my wrestling coaches didn't know how to wrestle heavyweight because they're all skinny. So
Yeah.
I learned how to wrestle like a small guy, and whenever I got up to people that weighed 275 pounds, I'd do a single leg takedown, pick them up off the ground, and they'd start flopping around like a dead fish.
Yeah.
So,
And that was an advantage because usually, because you're right, that the heavyweights have to wrestle differently, and when all of a sudden they aren't accustomed to actual below the waist wrestling moves, they're like a fish out of water.
mm-hmm.
Most of those big guys do not know how to grapple.
Yeah, the most I ever weighed in wrestling was 218, and I wrestled heavyweight, which was 275. And of course, after Christmas, you got 2 pounds weight allowance. Then tournaments, you kept on getting extra weight. So, yeah, every now and again, I'd be wrestling people that would have to cut weight on the second or third day of a tournament, and they'd be 279 pounds, and I'd be 218.
Mm-hmm.
So, good times, good times.
Men grabbing men and enjoying it.
Oh God.
And we loved it. But it basically gets back to, it's another one of those sports that gets back to what men used to do back in the day, and that's combat.
It's conquering your opponent.
Yeah.
It's plain and simple.
It's physically man to man, except we both get to live rather than one of us is going to die.
Yeah.
I mean, when I used to do it, about halfway through my high school career is when they changed the rules and they eliminated a lot of the judo moves that used to be allowed.
Okay.
Because you used to be able to do like hip tosses and stuff like that.
You still can. You still can. It just all depends on how you grab them with your hands. Like, you can't grasp your own wrists and stuff like that. Your hands can't really touch.
Yeah. And unfortunately, that was my best move. I mean, I could do it very quickly, very efficiently, and like some guys are great at takedowns, and they'll literally, that's all they'll do the whole match is takedowns. They'll take their opponent down, literally let them up, take them down, let them up, and just kill them with points. And then it's like 18-4 or 5 or whatever. I mean, he's
it's 2 for a takedown, 1 for when they get back up.
Like 18-9.
Yeah. Yeah. This one guy wrestled. His entire high school career, he never lost a match, and he would go and he would do that, and he would just like, okay, I'm going to practice single leg takedowns this entire match, and that's all he would do is single leg takedowns, and then he get to where if he let him up and took him down again, he'd win by points. He would just take him and then pin him.
Mm-hmm.
This guy was a freak when it came to wrestling.
Yeah.
So. But yeah.
And apparently, wrestling killed the chat. Listen to all these other
without fail.
Whenever men start touching men,
that are willing to defend themselves and shoot another man, but wouldn't dare even consider touching another man.
Are you kidding? I got more mat time than most guys, but it's mat time outside of a refereed ring.
Right.
In fact, the only legitimate training I ever have claimed or will claim is my junior karate class, which was in a really nice little McDojo with like 65 other kids and 4 teachers. That was one of the most terrible experiences of my life, but it got me into the martial arts. So, and then everything else I've done from there has been private training. Private training's better anyway. There's no better way than one-on-one.
Oh yeah, I mean, well, it's what you need, because there's always, depending on your body type, your strengths, your endurance, and all that kind of stuff. There are certain things that you may be better at that than someone else. So you want to emphasize your strengths, not necessarily your weaknesses. There's no point in practicing your weaknesses.
Yeah, but I mean, if you walk through a car lot, a good example, the way I put it before, is if you're walking through a car lot and you're looking at 100 different models of car, you're not going to really pay attention to any of the details on any of them. But if you're walking through a car lot with 100 of the same car, you're going to find the best one in the whole lot before you pick it. And then you'll be paying attention to the exact details of that. So, you know, a teacher that's watching you do 100 kicks in a row is going to think about how you kick and not how everyone kicks. It's just a much, much better scenario, and it leads to much, much more personalized training, as long as you have a legitimate teacher. I've had some really bad ones in the past, too.
Right.
Yeah, I never got into the martial arts.
Yeah, I got into martial arts for about a year and a half in college, Taekwondo, and I found it is a nice transition from wrestling to actually incorporate that into actually some moves that with one more step in the move, I could actually make it to that move then became self-defense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, my cousin was a third-degree black belt in Taekwondo back in high school, and she could kick anybody's ass.
I mean, but like wrist control as an example. Some aspects of that is allowed in wrestling, some are not. It depends on what exactly you're grabbing. But again, just a slight modification to it took wrestling to a whole new level with just a slight tweaking.
Yep.
So. Yeah, look how quick in UFC. I don't know if anyone follows that, but the stand-up fighter is pretty much. It's like I don't even know what to call it. It's like just it's a formality to have any stand-up fighting in UFC. The guys that win, the guys that are the top fighters in the world, are all grapplers, and they're all like mastered at grappling, I should say. And that's just when it comes down to it. Controlling a person's body so they can't move or escape or do anything is the best way to win a fight. Because I mean, obviously, the best way to win a fight is to stop someone's heart instantly, but that's not always an option. That's not always easy. Sometimes it's much, much easier barehanded to just drop somebody into a lock in under a second, and then the fight's over.
Yep, just look at the Gracies. I mean, they were some of the most boringest fights, but they always won.
Yep, that's the thing. That's a good way to put it too. The fights are a lot more boring. There's just a novelty to stand-up fighting nowadays. That's like people like George St. Pierre did some really fancy flare kicks and stuff like that. And it was really fun to watch, but not one of the best fighters in the world.
I still do Screamer, so.
Like a Screamer.
It's a good thing about it. It's not just everybody saying, "Oh, well, it's just stick fighting." It's, no, it's hand-to-hand also.
I've said it for years with Escrimas, bows, Han bows, the Joes, the short staffs. Everybody wants to learn sword fighting, but how often are you around a sword, and how often are you around a broomstick? Like there's just many more chances for stick fighting than there is for anything else.
The thing that really turned me into Eskrima, not just because I'm Filipino, but also because it's the stick. You can use the same techniques when using bolo. In fact, it originated with bolo, with a machete, with a bolo machete, and everything we do is chopping. It's just you think you're just hitting with stick, but it's actually using a blade.
Yeah, it's using a blade that's got the geometry and the design to cut that way. I mean, they're made for snap cuts, and they do really, really, really well with snap cuts.
What area of the world or art does the koga come from? Like the mini koga?
Oh, Japan.
Okay.
What's a koga? I'm confused.
It's an impact weapon.
Kubutan.
Traditionally it's made out of wood, but nowadays they also have it made out of nylon.
Okay, but it's a kobutan though. It's just a little multi-surface striking thing.
KOGI. If you just type in mini koga, you can get a picture of one. A picture's worth 1,000 words. There's two common variations of it. I'll try to get a link just a minute. K-O-G-A.
But yeah, it's also called palm stick. We also do palm sticks in Eskrima too. So
Okay, here's the picture of one. Because I got to
Hey
see.
guys, I gotta go. Good talking to you guys
take
tonight.
care, boss. Take care.
See ya.
See ya.
Later.
Thanks for joining.
Not a problem. See ya.
Ballistic. Ballistic, you here? I guess he's not.
He fell asleep.
Yeah, well, didn't he say he was in bed or something? I don't know what he said.
I don't know.
Yeah. I-N-I. There we go, Koga. Mini Koga. Oh, we'll say yes. Alright. Now that I've downloaded, I need to make it my picture. Make it my picture. Where's upload, custom upload. There we go, Mini Koga. Well, I gotta turn my camera on just a minute. Okay, take a look at my picture now. You see it?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, it's a Kobuton. Koga is a guy's last name.
Okay.
Yeah, that designed that specific one. Yeah, Kobuton is what that's called. Those are freaking awesome.
But I just got one recently, and the reason I got it was for in my state the signs at a business have the weight of law. So if I have to go into a place where I cannot bring my sidearm, I have that. And of
You're
course,
not a knife fighter?
it does take. You have to know how to properly use it, but it is. And of course, obviously it's nothing for as far as a standoff. It's when you're literally touching your, or the guy's already got his hands on you, that kind of distance.
Yeah,
But,
or to keep their hands off of you.
Exactly. I mean, but there's so many different ways to apply that, all of which are extremely effective.
Okay. At the back of the hand, even if you have no training whatsoever, striking at the back of the hand will pretty much shatter anything that you hit with the
Oh
tips of
yeah.
it.
I mean, that's what makes it so great is it doesn't take all sorts of fancy training, to do it. As long as you know how to apply it at maybe 2 or 3 spots of the body.
Yeah.
Like you said,
yeah,
back of the hand.
There's and then besides self-defense, there's a bunch of different manuals out there on how to use those lethally, and they're very, very lethal.
Yes.
But back in the day, that was what they were as a concealed assassination tool as well as a self-defense tool.
Right.
The concept of the tactical pen was born of that. Born from that.
Exactly. Speaking of which, should anyone see the zero tolerance pen that they showed?
No, I haven't.
That's pretty sweet. Zero tolerance.
Yeah, in fact, that mini Koga, I bought one for my son for Christmas. He goes to school where there's no carry, so that's what he carries.
Yep, in a pinch, a Sharpie will do a really good job.
Yep.
Or a carpenter's pencil.
Side of a temple. It's always effective.
Well, that's and Chris, you bring up a point that's also very critical, and that's the power of your own brain. I mean, it's not so much the tool as it is knowing how to apply the tool. And sometimes, having that knowledge, but maybe a tool that's not as strong, is almost better than having a stronger tool but less knowledge.
Yeah. Multi-tool will make a really good one too. Now that I'm thinking about it, the tip of a multi-tool makes a really good one.
Mm-hmm. What's nice about that is, both ends stick about, of course it depends on the size of your hand, but at least in my hand, about an inch past both sides of my fist, and yet will fit in my pocket, and because it's made out of nylon, very light, small enough to be in your pocket to where you don't even really notice it. because when you need it, you don't want it in your backpack. It's either in your pocket or don't even bother bringing it. You're not going to have time to get it out.
I got one of these on the way right now. I don't know if anybody knows what those are.
Let me see. Yeah, let's see here. Oh, nice.
Yeah, scroll down to that.
It's a tiny knife.
Oh, they're huge actually. It's a big, heavy use knife.
Yep, it was a thick knife. Yeah, definitely a robust looking knife, but it's small.
Yeah, it's a 3.5, 4-inch blade.
Yep.
Is that one for your personal use or something you're upgrading for somebody, or?
Well, it's a clone, so it's a clone of like a $700 knife.
Oh, okay.
It's imported, it's stolen, like it's not something I'd sell. It's just something I want to experiment with and see if I can maybe salvage some hardware off of it or something.
Did you say stolen?
Yeah, they basically it's got the guy's brand on it and everything.
Oh, I thought you meant
Counterfeit.
like okay, counterfeit. I thought you meant like literally somebody counterfeited it and then stole it.
Oh no. It's a counterfeit design. It's a clone knife, like literally a clone of somebody. It's even got his logo on it and shit.
Okay.
It's not something I would sell or offer publicly, but it's going to be fun to play with and maybe take apart. Maybe I could use a blade for this, or
Right.
yeah, take something that's taking the stuff out of American pockets and putting a little bit more into them.
And Chris, you think a 3.5 folding knife is a small knife?
Nah, it looks small.
It's because they've got one of those little precision sticks with it, the little measuring sticks. So those always make stuff look tiny. I stopped using them. I thought it was because they do make stuff look small. But it's smaller than it seems too. They're regular size pocket knife. I mean, it's not huge. I gotta jump out and talk to you guys later.
Take care, man.
All right, Huck. Later, Huck.
So what's anybody heard anybody from SHOT Show?
Not too much.
Just a few
Not too much
videos I've
exciting
watched.
stuff.
I watched about 5 minutes of Tact Eddie's walk around.
He's been active lately. He's been very active lately, putting it up on YouTube stuff. Anybody heard from G-Webs?
Negative.
Okay. Probably saving some stuff. So what else is new?
Sadly, nothing. It's been pretty boring. By the way, Daniel, you get to see a video on the Esbit Stove and the cubes. I actually filmed that today, so.
Oh, okay. So it's in the queue.
I haven't uploaded it yet. I've got to do that tonight when I before I go to bed. So I did that one in the flame gel that it came with. Utility flame, it's called.
Okay.
And it's like 1 gig of upload. So it's like 10 minutes long. But I fast forwarded through the actually doing the, trying to get water to boil to part,
Well, yeah, that would have been a cool video.
Yeah, watching water boil.
On what? I forgot. What type? How you?
It's a little folding
Okay.
stove that you get, solid fuel cubes for.
Sometimes they're called a hobo stove.
Okay. I know what those are. Okay.
Yeah.
I want to construct a rocket stove for melting lead using what do you call this? Cinder blocks.
Hey,
Let's
Chris, be
see.
careful with that rocket stove stuff with cinder block. They hold moisture. When that heats up, you can get them to, they'll pop on you. They'll explode.
Okay.
So, yeah, you got to be careful with them.
Well, it's gonna be summer here pretty soon, and moisture in the air is non-existent.
Well, that too, but you do get rain down there sometimes, don't you?
Every few months. Yep.
Yeah, and Chris, one thing you don't know, it seeps into the pores of the rock, and it doesn't come off very fast. You know, next time you're down by a river, pick up a couple of rocks that are by the river, not in the water, but by the water.
Uh-huh.
Take them home and put them next to a fire. You'll see them crack open.
Oh yeah.
It's the same thing with the cinder blocks. It'll still hold moisture.
I believe you.
Chris, is one thing you could use for that would be a lot safer would be using what they call fire brick. It's yellowish, and use it for like lining flues and fireplaces, and it's actually a ceramic that it's been fused to where it's like glass and it doesn't soak up any moisture.
Yep. Okay. Fire brick. Okay. You see all this stuff on YouTube.
Yeah. I think that that's a good idea using the rocket stove because you get the most heat out of it. It would be like putting a big blowtorch against your melting pot.
Yeah, and without having to buy, because without having to buy like propane tanks.
Yeah, you could just use practically anything that'll burn. You can throw some charcoal on it even.
Yeah. So I've been looking at a lot of these DIY stuff on YouTube. Very interesting stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot of neat stuff to look at in there.
Some of them are dangerous.
I thought the rocket stoves were propane. Or am I thinking jet boil?
Rocket stoves are usually just like an L-shaped tube where you put fuel in one on the bottom and then it goes up top, and it doubles the heat because the heat rises. So yeah, that's you can put anything on a rocket stove. It doesn't have to be mostly those is wood fueled or combustibles, not propane and stuff like that.
There's a lot of rocket stove designs that I've seen that use old propane tanks and use that as your firebox.
Uh-huh. Yep. You can use one to what do you call this? You can use it actually to funnel from if you have a torch that goes up, So
Chris, you said you're using cinder blocks to make yours?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I just did a search and then just did images to look at different types. Looks like there's cinder blocks are common, but it looks like you can buy some.
Yeah, you can buy some.
But if you got cinder blocks already sitting there.
Yeah, it's easy to find the cinder blocks. I mean, I'll just go to Ace Hardware or Home Depot. I can make one out of brick, which will probably be much safer. But the what do you call it, cinder block? People make them out of cans, cement, stuff like that.
Right.
A lot of interesting things, and then there's also this project that there's these other projects of home air conditioners, like a homemade air conditioning. We're using like a bucket.
You're using a bucket, a 5-gallon or a 1-gallon frozen jug of water, and then like a fan.
And a fan, yeah.
Yeah, what that is what's called a swamp cooler.
Yep.
Swamp, and although they work, I mean, down by you it probably work really well, but
Exactly. They work here really well because it's dry here,
yeah,
especially indoors.
you can do the exact same thing if you just use the ice.
Yeah, but what do they call this? What do they call this? The bucket, or in my case, I'm going to be using like a styrofoam cooler. It would contain would funnel the cold a little bit better.
Before we go off air, I want you all to take a look at my new cat house. What do you think? Well, for all you cat lovers out there.
Oh, that's cruel. Oh,
But it's so
you don't want
warm.
to do this.
It's so warm.
It doesn't look all comfortable. Just close the door.
Quark, what do you say?
You can do the exact same thing with a dog, Dano.
Oh, damn. Here we go.
I didn't type that text in there. I just found it. It just showed up under rocket stoves somehow.
Because it's in the stove.
So I figured, well, I'd grab this up, and at least I know somebody would get a chuckle out of it.
or would, or
I mean,
guess
I love my dog, but dogs are dumb as shit.